Because all my life I was hit. I never complained. I always said it's part of my job.
And we ended up convicted of
allowing premises.
Allowing a premises to be used for the supply and consumption of MDMA. We always got on with the police, you know, and we never had a problem with anything, as far as I was aware. If we caught anyone with tablets, if it was less than 3, we were to take their tablets from them. The tablets go into the safe. The club had 1 key, the police had the other key. Anything more than 3 tablets, we'd have to call the police.
Because they found nothing. So they had to hit me with something to justify. With theft.
Being in clubland pretty much all my life, all my working life, all my adult life, all I'd ever seen is people taking pills. For me it kind of was, it was natural because that's what I'd seen. That's the world I'd lived in, is people taking tablets to music, people enjoying music with drugs in their system.
They genuinely thought we were producing drugs. Go and see if you can buy drugs off them. Not go and find out what goes on in the place. They were telling them.
Target us.
Yes, go and target us. You won't believe what the judge said. Why did you play that music?
Yeah.
Why couldn't you have a line dancing club?
Yeah.
No.
I swear to God.
All right, so today we're in Plymouth with our red faces from being in the beach yesterday in Newquay, and we have got a massive miscarriage of justice case, and we've got a club owner and a DJ who got absolutely bamboozled by the authorities, the local police, the council, and both ended up in prison. So do you guys want to just introduce yourself to the viewers and say what you were convicted of and how much prison you did?
Certainly, yeah. My name's Tom Costelloe. I'm from Bromley in Kent, and yeah, I'm a DJ and promoter, and I met Manoch at London's Camden Palace. And then Manoch bought the Dance Academy, and in a shortened version, he bought the Dance Academy, and I moved down there to run the club with him. And we ended up convicted of, what was the actual charge? Allowing a premises to be used for the supply and consumption of MDMA.
Wow.
Ecstasy.
What sentence then was that?
I got 5 years, and Manoch got 9 years.
No.
Yeah.
So what was it like moving down from London to Devon?
Look, I said in the court very openly, I said, look, this city, let's be honest, is 10 years behind Brighton, where I grew up, and ever since. And my lawyer said, that's it, you've had it. Yeah, but I was honest, because that's what they are so behind with these things, and it's nothing against them, it's just how it goes. You don't see this kind of council in Brighton. Look at Brighton. It's never felt recession. It's never felt COVID. It is a small London in Brighton because the councillors are young, half as age of these councillors.
Why do you guys think they targeted you?
I'm not sure really, because we always got on with the police, you know, and we never had a problem with anything, as far as I was aware. We were always told we were doing the right thing.
Yeah.
We were always told, we were instructed to, if we caught anyone with tablets, if it was less than 3, we were to take their name details as much as possible. I mean, obviously they'd give Mickey Mouse names and stuff like that, but you know, take their names, take their tablets from them. The tablets go into the safe, drug safe, which is the club had one key, the police had the other key. So they would come and empty the safe, which would take ages, but that's another story. So yeah, anything more than 3 tablets, we'd have to call the police. And then the police would come and...
But I think it was a bit different. They said 3 to 4 tablets. Because
Yeah,
that's what came in the
it was
court.
like a rough guideline.
They said, look, 3. But now we understand they were doing it to trap us. You
Yeah.
see what I mean? And their stupidity, complete lot of them. When they raided the club, they left the drugs in the safe and took the lost property because they found nothing in our position. In my home, certainly, they changed the sniffing dogs. That's how convinced they were. Because the dog couldn't find anything. So they changed the dog. They thought the dog is gone cuckoo.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. Anyway, their stupidity, I wasn't even here. I was away. 6 months of operation, or 7 months. The night they came, I hadn't been here for weeks. Anyway, they didn't even take the drugs from the safe, which was there in the safe, not in the drug box. They must have caught it at the time and not time to put it. Okay? Instead, they took some lost property
Passports,
from
yeah,
passports,
yeah.
okay? And bang on the news. The owner has been charged with theft. Because they found nothing. So they had to hit me with something to justify. With theft.
So they're accusing you of pinching people's passports to sell on?
Or whatever. This is how pathetic they were. They had left the drugs there because they must have been in panic. We've had 200 people in here, officers, to do things, and we can't find fuck all.
200 officers.
150
Yeah, 140
soldiers
something.
and the rest of the whatever they were.
Yeah, when they raided the club.
Okay?
What?
But when they raided the club, they put bins. They told everyone to stay where they are. And they put bins there, and they said anyone who's got drugs on them, put them in the bins. So I think that was done to show that there was a X amount of drugs in the building at the time.
So don't destroy them, basically,
Yeah.
if people could destroy them.
It was
like
to,
for
yeah,
instance.
it was to show how much tablets were in the building. But you know, for me, being in clubland pretty much all my life, all my working life, all my adult life, all I'd ever seen is people taking pills. I know, don't get me wrong, I know it's illegal, but everyone knows it goes on. This is the thing. Everyone knows it goes on, and now it's cocaine or whatever, or, you know, whatever. But I'm not saying it's a natural thing, but you know, for me it kind of was. It was natural because that's what I'd seen. That's the world I'd lived in, is people taking tablets to music, people enjoying music with drugs in their system. Okay, some people don't do it, some people do it, but you know, it's a fact of life that it goes hand in hand. And we had this relationship with the police. They knew there was drug, you know, in every club. I was looking last night, and there was.
If they didn't, they wouldn't have told us, if you catch someone with 3-4
Yeah,
tablets,
exactly.
let them go. Don't waste
Exactly.
our times. That's exactly is what. Don't waste our times to come here and blah blah, arrest all of us for what. But anyway,
Yeah,
we
no,
get there in a minute.
I found an article in the local paper, which was not long after we had been arrested. It was in May 2006. I can't remember the exact date, something. But there was a guy that had been caught with 140 ecstasy tablets at another club in the city. You know, and at the same time, it was being reported that we had been arrested, and you know, so it goes on. That's all I'm trying to say.
Oh,
Do you
it's
know what I mean?
everywhere. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, to not think it's
Yeah.
going to be dance music and not drugs.
Look,
Exactly.
we read some articles in the Proper paper, like national papers, investigation. They found traces of coke in toilets in High Court.
In the High Court.
In the High Court.
And the Houses of Parliament.
So QCs
Well, I bet, yeah.
must have been at it.
Judge.
It is, look, whether you believe it or not, at that time, I paid £700 for a small camera right at the same time when this happened. I said, go out and try to buy some tablets. It was openly on the counter. In fact, if anywhere people used to be wary, was my place because they were scared of me. And this, by the way, was written in the intelligence report by Sergeant Andy King, who wrote in his report that this club is doing better than all the other clubs. Because of this, all the things are in place, all the things are there.
And it's no worse than any other club, that was it. Something like that.
I was the first club in the country started with free water fountain.
Yeah. And they used
Everyone
that
else used to shut the
against us.
cold water so people would have
to buy the water.
them.
Yeah.
I put water fountains on the levels, different levels. So people would have free if they haven't got them.
I never even heard of that before.
Yeah.
Yes, it's still there. The fountains are still there.
Yeah. The fountains are still there.
I was the first club to have a unisex
Toilet, yeah.
Was that not dangerous?
No, because the issue was everybody used to go in and blah, 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 in the ladies, gents, blah, 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 what girls go there, boys go there. So I said to council, I said, look, isn't this better if it's unisex so we can openly monitor it? We can send our staff whenever is necessary to ladies or gents and cameras.
Yeah.
We watch it. If it is like this, we can't. They all agreed with me. Look, the council commended me for raising standards in the city. The mayor commended me, thanked me for raising standards in the city. The same time as mayor came to thank me with the mayoress, yes, the operation was going. So either the intention was to make me off guard, or just really thanking me, but whoever, I don't know. Within 3 months of that, the place gets raided. And within that period, you won't believe, you only realize these small things when the incident has happened, and you just think, that is why then. For the past 6-7 months, which now we know is when the operation had started, we kept catching people, say for fight, which we didn't have any, ever, and say for whatever reason, okay, we caught someone. We were calling the police, they wouldn't come.
Yeah, suddenly.
They wouldn't.
Suddenly changed,
So they wanted to put us in trouble, make a mistake basically.
They wanted you to fail.
To fail.
Yeah, set you up.
And then, once they turned up when we insisted, and I was going crazy. They turned up at 2 a.m, when everywhere else in Plymouth was shut, except us, open till 6 in the morning. So everyone was queuing from here to there. And they wanted to take 2 head doorman and the other doorman, whoever is it, take away to take his statements. So when I told the policeman, of course they didn't like it. I said, why now? Can you not see? We need the head doorman. We need the doorman. And this and that. But they wanted us to fail. Now we know. The first day that this badge business came along,
SIA badge.
SIA
Security.
badge,
Yeah.
yes, they came with SIA people, raided our club. Their bad luck, we only had like 60, 70 people at the time they came in to check everybody's. And I just
Checking
thought,
the doorman, yeah.
is he stupid or what? And they asked me to give statement on the records. Took me to the office. Okay, it's on the records. We need to. So I gave statement. Yes. Of course we've done this. Everything was fine. But they wanted to catch us with. They were preparing all this to
Use
do
against us.
us
Yeah.
simply because they genuinely thought we were producing drugs. You never hear any operation if you are calling undercover officers to guide them what to do. Somebody would read this telling them, some sergeant in this case. He was telling them, because we then found out they were novice from Scotland up in north. The undercover
novice
officers.
police. Like they'd just started
Okay.
their undercover.
And they were told, we have information that these two, only him and I, are involved in drugs. Go and see if you can buy drugs off them. Not go and find out what goes on in the place. They were telling them,
Target us.
yes, go and target us. And I remember even once, I'd never forget, like, because everybody knew me. Everybody knew him. And somebody had approached him, a girl, or whatever. He
Yeah,
will tell you
yeah.
himself, it's not for me to say.
Yeah, no. It was just I kept getting asked to get pills from this girl, and I was just like, can you stop asking me to get you tablets? I can't get you tablets. Leave me alone. You know what I mean? And it got to the point where she kept asking me, like, please get me some tablets. And I was like, I exploded. I was like, take it to the office. I'm going to search you. Take it to the office and search you. You're doing my fucking brain in. I can't get you any tablets. But of course, we tried to bring this up in the trial, and they just kind of pushed that away. You know, I tried to find. You know, we tried to find this particular person, but all the police that were doing the undercover were behind screens. So in the trial, the evidence given, they were all behind screens, so we couldn't see their faces.
Did she look like the typical party goer?
No, that's what you could tell. This is what I'm saying. You could tell, and by the way she was talking as well. You know, you knew.
You felt she was undercover?
Yeah, totally.
Look, all of these witnesses, everybody's welcome to see. I mean, I've given it to many people, including. This is the file which was given to Criminal Cases Review Commission, and they agreed there has been or recommended it back to High Court. In this, everybody, when you look at the evidence, it is like the guy the worst thing we heard from anyone to convict us was a guy who worked for us as a doorman. I chucked him out because he was involved in a murder. Okay? He had gone as an enforcer. When I found out in the paper, I sacked him following week when he turned up to work. Because I didn't want this murder business. Not only he got away with murder, he came to court to claim he was a Royal Marine, which then we found out he wasn't.
It was a total lie.
He was a registered club drug dealer.
He was an informant. Basically.
He had offered to the policeman, undercover police detective, drug squad, he had offered $5,000 a week drugs he can provide. When we found out all this, he won't believe who he is. He's the son of the guy, Supergrass in Liverpool, who grassed these big. Which was the
Curtis
dealer?
Warren, I think. The guy who grassed.
He grassed on Curtis Warren.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh,
This is his son.
That's his son.
the apple don't
Okay.
fall too far from the tree there.
Indeed, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he, because his bad luck, the woman he married, I used to have few feelings with her before they got married. Few sleepovers. I don't know if that was his garage.
Angst, yeah.
All he had to say was, because there was nothing else to say, that we agreed that I leave because Manoch had a relaxed attitude towards drugs. That's it. That is it. That meant to be their star witness.
Yeah.
And then when we went, amazingly, when we went to court in the first appeal, we said the undercover officers were behind the screen, which is very unfair. We need to see them to see which one approached us for what. Okay? The court said there was another witness called this, who was the son of that big drug dealer or informant. So the court, High Court, said it wasn't only the undercover officers, it was him as well, which makes a case for it. So they dismissed that. The second appeal, when we found out about all this, that is when Criminal Cases Review Commission returned the case again. Look, this guy wasn't even a Royal Marine. He was a drug dealer.
Yeah, it was a total lie in the court.
Guess what the High Court said?
Doesn't matter.
No, they said there was also undercover officers. So it wasn't only him. So the first time we were refused because of them lot. And then the second time
they swapped it around.
They swapped it around this time. And then we got to the European Court. They easily accepted the case. They said British government needs to explain what is going on. And you won't believe what the prosecution did in England.
Go on.
We have a Supreme Court ourselves. You have to bring the case back to Supreme Court, not to European Court. And of course, European Court agreed. Because they said, it is correct. You have a higher court now, it was newly done. You have a higher court now, and it has to go there before we can act on it, which is true. They kept buying time. By the time it all comes back, yes, we went to Supreme Court. They said you are 3 months out of time.
Technicality.
Unbelievable.
So then you can't take it to the European Court
You
because
see
you've not
what
exhausted
I
all your
mean?
domestic remedies.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
This drug dealer's wife anyway, this Grass, his wife 2 years ago phoned us out of nowhere. She's going through divorce with him. She came, she didn't even know. I'm sure she's gonna know now. We were recording her. She was saying how he used to get a visit from the police.
Handler. He had a police handler.
Police handler. She was married to him for 13 years with a boy and a girl. And no one knows these things. You are the first person to hear all this.
Yeah, thank you for having us, by the way.
No, thank you for coming
thank
in,
you
so
for,
Yeah,
thank you.
You know what I mean? I have never spoken about these issues because I wouldn't want to give pleasure to people to talk about my misfortune. It is not like me. I'm a very brave person. I always deal with matters. When the judge said to me, you go for 9 years, I almost laughed in the court. I grabbed hold of Tom because Tom was very upset. He almost,
Dropped,
because
yeah.
they almost collapsed.
Yeah.
And I grabbed Tom. I said, Tom, it's okay. Let's go. It's all right. And when we went back to prison, the first person said, oh, you got 9 years. Yes, fucking right we did. So what do you want to do? And then another asshole was, can you imagine? He said, that Manoch from up there. I said, yes. You slapped me once. I said, did I? Yes. I said, nice one. As if like I'll be scared of any of them. And in fact, the guy who was in court the same time from Manchester for dealing drugs heavily, he got 15 years, coke.
Yeah, true.
I had slapped him.
Yeah.
You won't believe,
And
I know
banned him
it's
from the
funny.
club. And banned him from the club.
I used to do all this on my own.
It's true.
I
It's
used
true.
to stand against all the gangs on my own. The gangs used to come here and say, we never pay anywhere in the city, which was true. And I used to say, well, if I let you in here, you still have to pay. But I'm not going to let you in. But I'm coming back wherever you are to have a drink with you if you think you are. And I used to go and have a drink in their pub, in their social club.
The protection.
And you won't believe, I used to get arrested. I got arrested twice for standing up to people. Because they were showing me this, and I pulled my trousers down. I said, come on then. And I got arrested by the police. Because they couldn't stop the guy threatening me with guns, but they arrested me for... In a way, some of the policemen were in love with me because I was standing up to these bad boys.
Yeah.
I used to allow them in my premises up there, in my flat. I used to tell them, you can come up to the flat and have a coffee, have a beer, but I won't let you in the club. I wouldn't. This was as simple as that. I wouldn't, and I always told them why. I said, you intimidate people. You are not good for business. You are not good for nice atmosphere. This is why academy was academy.
Yeah. True.
And I wouldn't give a toss about any of these. Don't get us wrong. I know certain clubs like Cream or these big clubs, God's Kitchen and these big ones. We were bigger than them without knowing. They even tried to muscle in. They tried to do a night in here. And they said, I can't remember, Tom was the manager there. He was dealing with them. And I said, okay.
It was Gatecrasher come to do an event in Plymouth.
Yes.
And they wanted to do it with us, but they were arguing over the ticket price. It was hilarious.
Really?
Yeah, Manoch wasn't letting
So I
get
said,
away with 10 pence.
So I said to them, okay, how much you gonna... He said, we give you 80p a ticket.
Sorry, they wanted to do the event in the pavilion, but they wanted us to shut the club for the night. So we do the event in the for 3,500 capacity.
And use our DJs and everything.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, what are you gonna pay us for that? Said 80p a ticket. I said, okay, how much you gonna charge? He said 20 odd quid. I said, from 20 odd quid, you want to pay me 80p? Fuck off, man. Then that night,
It was true.
that night, we had nearly
3,000
full
people.
capacity,
Yeah.
full, and I mean full, one in, one out. They had less than 1,500 people in there, which designed for 4,000 or 5,000 people. That taught them a lesson they always say you have to earn your respect. After that, every club owner, every club outside Plymouth learned to respect us. What fucking ATP? Who the fuck are you to offer even? I give you £800 to shut the fuck up. I remember once when I had just opened, I was desperate for finances. I sold, don't get me wrong, I sold 3 businesses. I sold two flats and the freehold of a building, and I sold the house to be able to come here. And these motherfucker police put in the fucking thing that I had 100% mortgage. So I called the QC and the
Lawyer solicitor.
barrister and the law. When they come afterwards to see you to say goodbye, I had it all that time. I had sat and I wasn't good with writing and reading because my girlfriend used to do all this time. My English wasn't good to read or write. I could read, but I grew up in the street. Every time that happened, I used to say, later, my girlfriend had a degree and she was fantastically running everything. She used to say, come and sit down, I'll teach you computer. I used to say, oh, you are doing it for a minute. Later. And then I get so upset, not upset, I get, it's like this excitement is coming through you because you've never spoken about these things.
And you can let it out
and,
all of a sudden.
And suddenly you just realize, where do I tell these people how bad everything was? I sat in prison with that knowledge of education. I was educated in my country, don't get me wrong. But because from day one I came here, I started working. And I had always 2 jobs, often 3 jobs. I sat down and I went through all these statements, evidence, or whatever they write. And I found so many bollocks in there. When they came to see me, because he said straight away, we've come to talk to you about your confiscation. I said, you come and see me for confiscation another time. Today is my day. I'm going to ask you questions. And I had highlighted with blue pen. I never forget blue. And it was difficult to find these things in prison.
In prison, yeah, it's mental.
I went one by one. I said, when did I say this? When did I tell you 100% mortgage? Don't you think a fucking judge sitting there would say this guy at the age of 40, he had fuck all in his life, and suddenly he's come here now, he's worth £2 million, £5 million? Is this, did I fucking tell you that? Couldn't you just put, I sold how many houses, properties, and what, 3 businesses? I don't, and everything I was telling the QC, he was looking at the barrister was looking at the lawyer.
It was so, once we looked in, because it was such like a bomb going off, because we were told all the way through, we were on bail for over 2 years. Over 2 years.
And just over 2 years, and just before the court, few days before the court, they gave 600 pages of unused material. They had over 2 years to give it.
We don't know this. The
And
way
so
this
the
game
lawyers-
works, do you know what I mean? Because it is a game. It is a.
The
it is
lawyers didn't have time to go through these unused material.
So
which
then
now,
we did. So then
Tom
we
is
did.
reading some of them, and he's come up with certain things. We realized, we used to have at the time, we used to have a, who was that from council they used to come? Drug something.
I don't
Drug.
remember.
You know the guy who came and gave evidence to, or statement to Jane Hickman?
Dylan Sadler, was that?
No.
the drug guy?
The drug guys from council, they used to put a desk in our place and call it a Harbour Centre.
Oh, the Harbour Centre, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a drug.
Rehabilitation.
From day one they approached
Yeah.
us. We gave them a desk in the club. They
Giving
used to
information
come for
about-
free. give condom away, give information, help people, okay? Suddenly, November, I think it was 1st or October 1st, I didn't even know that they had stopped. They had gone to Tom and said, we can't do it anymore. Tom and said, why is that? Oh, the council hasn't got enough
Funding.
What we didn't know was they had done it on purpose
to take that away.
That's evidence in your favour.
because
Exactly.
in court I didn't even know that. I said, yeah, Harbour Centre was there. You can ask them. He said, I haven't been there for 6 months.
But
I said, pardon?
All this time we were on bail and we were being told by our legal teams, don't worry about
Have
this.
faith in the
yeah,
system.
you're going to
You
be
see, we
fine.
were too relaxed.
Yeah,
We were too relaxed.
You're not
about
gonna,
it.
we never. The first I heard of prison was about 4 weeks into the trial, and it was a 6-7 week trial. The first 3 weeks I was falling asleep because I'd never been in that situation before. Never been in a courtroom
You just
before.
don't believe. I was laughing at the juries and everybody else. I was telling the reporter outside, and he was agreeing with me. I kept saying, what a waste of fucking time this is. What a waste of public money.
Well, I think the viewers at this point are wondering, Tom and Manoj,
Yeah.
they spent all this money, like you just said, 150 cops raiding you guys. What was the motive? I mean, do you guys have property or something that the council wanted to take from you, or
I think the motive was
Zoom on that building across.
the building across the street?
Palace
That
Theatre,
is
yeah.
started.
Tell the viewers a little bit about the building. It's a from the Victorian.
It was
Victorian Theatre.
Victorian Theatre, yeah. I
And
mean,
it's 100 odd years old, 130, 40 years old.
beautiful building, and it's spoke about in the city of Plymouth so much. Everyone talks about the Dance Academy or the Palace Theatre, and they're always asking this gentleman, what are you going to do with it? What, because I think initially this whole thing was about taking that building out of his hands.
Why did you get the building in the first place?
Right. It was left derelict, much worse than it is now,
Much
as you can
worse.
see.
Much
Yeah,
worse than it is
much
now.
worse than this.
And this was
And I had
95, 96.
And I had been to this city to see a friend of mine who was a proper businessman, good, successful businessman. Like, few years earlier, or more than that, I can't remember, 6, 7 years before that, he actually owned a kebab place up here called Caspian. Anyway, because he owned the business here, he had few, not just one. And we were here at night. We saw this club across the road. Looked fantastic. We went in there and we had drinks. So the following time when I went, which was 5, 6 years later, came round here, I saw it's gone derelict. And I thought, this club used to be fantastic. What has happened to it? Anyway, I made some inquiries there and then. You won't believe, that's how I am. I made a journey from here to Blackpool. I went to find the guy and what difficulty I found him.
The guy who owns this
Yeah.
at the time.
And it was
And-
derelict.
Yeah.
He told me he'd sold it to another guy from
Yeah, Launceston, was it?
not Lonestone, no.
Bude.
No, Bideford.
Bideford,
Bedford,
yeah.
North Devon.
Bideford, yeah.
Bideford. Imagine to find all this, and I kept driving. I just don't give up if I
Straight from
decide
Blackpool
something.
to North Bideford.
From Plymouth to Blackpool to North.
Stay
North
overnight. In one day, I made 2 journeys to Brighton and back.
I
Like
hadn't met him
16
at
hours.
this point. I hadn't
We'll
met him
get
at
to
this
how
point.
you two
Yeah.
met.
Yeah.
16, 17 hours drive. But I just do it. If I decide, and I was adamant I'm going to get this building, no matter what. And he said, I found him. He turned out to be another gangster. Australian, 2 brothers, boxer, champion, heavyweight. Oh. Yeah, okay then. I spoke to him. And I said, I want this. He said, the council wants to buy it. I'm gonna make what? I'm gonna make few $100,000 on from what he had bought from this guy, because the previous guy, council had done exactly the same to him. So what he had done was, one night come in, lock the doors, and smashed all the marbles in the place with this hammer. What you call it? Sledgehammer. He told me himself. He's not shy about it. He says, I had enough of this fucking council. They kept doing this to me, doing this to me. I had enough. I smashed everything. I don't want to know anymore. Completely smashed up. All these people are excited about, I fucking fixed them. And it's only fake. Because we had to pay a plasterer to come from Liverpool to fix it, to mock it.
Yeah.
What do you call it? To
copy
it. And then put it up. I showed it to Heritage England. I said, does it look beautiful? He said, yeah. I said, now listen to it. And he said, oh my God. I said, yes. Anyway, I gave him £100,000 more. Despite that, which I told you about, these guys came from Northern Leisure and rank. They told me, look, don't be mad, don't be stupid, Manoch, you are fine in Brighton, you got all this going for you. I said, no, I know he's going to make it, this building. My bad luck, we got a lease from this guy, this present owner. His name was Sam. I don't want to tell you I'll tell you. Very tough, hard guy.
Boxers, they say.
Yeah, two brothers. Yeah, they are known. They were known at the time in the area. And he gave me a lease. He said, how do you want it? I said, I want it 1 year lease with the option of freehold, but I would set up the freehold price now. I don't want to open it and then you start going this. Anyway, we all agreed on this. We put it in handwriting, not lawyer. He gave me the lease. I was with this girl at the time. She was actually Serbian originally. I never forget. We went to this lawyer. He got, because we didn't know anywhere. We just walked along this, there is a crescent here, which all the lawyers are there. We went to the first lawyer and he looked at the lease, he read it all. Then he told me, sorry, I can't act for you because it's conflict of interest. I act for the others. Motherfucker, why did you fucking read it then? He was acting for council. Conflict of interest, bastard, conflict of interest. You should say sorry, mate. This is the first step.
And this was way back.
1996. Early 96. And then but being me, I don't give up. I said, okay. I laughed. As if it was going to impress me and do anything important to me. What do you want to do? Go and fuck yourself. I always believe in, if you don't do anything wrong, you have nothing to fear about. You have nothing to be concerned about. Yeah. And I tested it in my life. Once I had fight with 13 football fans from Liverpool. I never forget that. I had black marks everywhere.
How did that start?
But in Brighton, when they smashed up this takeaway shop, because they didn't do fish and chips, and the owner happened to be a Persian woman, and I didn't like it. So I joined in to stop them, and eventually I got in fighting with them. They found 3-4 kinds of blood on my clothes. I didn't have one scar anywhere on my clothes. They brought them to court to give evidence against me. Oh, can anyone believe this? And the judge laughed in that court. He said, so the shop has been smashed, and this guy on his own been fighting these lot who are admittingly by minibus, they've come here to play football with Brighton because Brighton had beat them 1-0.
Hope you're enjoying the podcast. Here's a word from our sponsor, Harry's. Having such a scratchy face, I'm always delighted to get a new Harry's set. There's a foaming gel, hydrating night lotion, and the razor with the weighted handle really gets the job done. The trimmer blade makes it so easy to get into those tricky places to reach. The shave gel offers effective lubrication and just comes off like butter. It's such a smooth shave. It shaves fast, efficiently, no discomfort, and it is so smooth by the end. The hydrating night lotion is light and non-greasy. Harry's is doing a £0 trial. Start shaving with the products, just pay for delivery. Save every time. Save on all your shaving products without sacrificing quality. You're in control. You can modify or cancel your plan from the account page. Make sure to support our podcast and start your own skincare journey by redeeming a free Harry's trial set. All you cover is £3.95 for delivery. Just head to harrys.com/Sean, SHAUN, and have your trial set delivered to your door. That's harrys.com/Sean, SHAUN. Thank you for supporting our sponsor.
And I never forget, because the barrister started talking, they are their boogie team, Brighton is their boogie team. And then judge said, hey, don't get out of the line now, talk about the case. And with the same token, I had one fight with a lizard, perhaps. That small he was. I never managed to land a punch on him. Because you have to have it from your heart, and you have to have the right for it. I didn't have the right to fight that lizard, because I didn't think it was right. I was pissed. And I couldn't even land a punch. But with the others, I had the absolute right to defend this woman with her child behind her. They smashed up all the front windows inside, blah, 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 blah. And eventually I got arrested. And anyway, the judge said at the end, I give you 2 years, because they were expecting prison sentence. He said, I give you 2 years, conditional discharge, out of my court. Don't do anything for 2 years and you'll be fine. I said, thank you, Judge, bye-bye. And the police had taken all my clothes. They were always against me, because I was a decent guy, not scared of them, from day one. And you won't believe what else this motherfucker police in charge of this bastard told the court.
Go on.
How did he get away with it? This fucking DI, corrupt bastards, which his own colleagues, by the way, I tell you in a little while, they admitted wrongdoings. His own colleagues right there, standing right there with uniform. No, not plainclothes, detectives. One from here, one from Leeds, a woman. They apologized. They said, everyone knows about your case and we are really sorry about that. It wasn't right what happened to you. You won't believe what he got away with it. He said to court, we have checked with Sussex police. The intelligence suggests he was involved in importing cocaine from Iran. How did he get away with it? Where was the fucking barrister of mine to get up and say, excuse me, or judge, if it is a real fucking intelligence, let's have a look at it. If it is not, why the fuck is he saying? How many people can stand there and say that?
But, again, we didn't really get this at the time, do you know what I mean? Because at the time we were just, being told by a legal team, nothing's going to happen to you. Don't worry, it's going to be fine. Rah, rah, rah. Until 2 weeks before the end of the trial, my barrister, who was absolutely useless, I just, when I look back on it now, absolutely useless. Just didn't even.
Look, as if, when we think about it, my complaints in the court now is all making sense. Even though, like the first day I met my QC, because I wasn't even here for 2 years. I had a small, like 60, 70 meters flat in Cyprus, which they thought is a villa with BMW outside. They had gone there and they'd been shocked and said to the people living there, "Who are you?" They said, "We are tenants." "How much you pay?" 40 euros a week. And then they said, "Where is his car?" It's outside. "Which one?" It was dust on it. I had paid 200 euros. And it was one of these Citroën, when you start, it pumps up. You know which ones I'm talking about? You can put the front and the back up like this. And I liked it because I wouldn't use it, but if I was there, it was funny. I used to stand in the traffic light and just go. That's all. And I told them that's all I have. They had gone to my house, opened up a safe. "Can you tell us that?" I said, "Yes." "How much you got?" I said, "I got 1 million Bulgarian money." At the time they weren't in. "And 6 million Iranian money." But then I laughed. I said, "Don't fucking waste your time. You can go and open it if you want, but you will see what I'm talking about." All together was 60 quid. And guess what else they done? Because they couldn't find anything. They had taken a box of cigar I had bought in Cyprus, which was part of Europe. You could do that. £5 a packet. Okay? They'd taken it, and I lost it in the court when I heard that. I'd run after this policeman. He was shitting himself. He had to run. I said to him, "Why the fuck did you take my cigars? What's that got to do? Is that drug, you motherfucker?" He said, we wanted to check if you paid duties on it."
Yeah, paid the VAT on it.
Who would 6 months spend millions of pounds on Undercover called John O'Mac
That was the case. No,
and then turn out try to do somebody for you haven't paid duties on your cigars?
It's bizarre.
And it is just, I know it's funny now. We put 2 by 2 together. We realize how pathetic everything was. If a detective can get away with it, and you won't believe, apart from the 600 pages were given to us at the few days before the court, after 2 years and 2 months. 2 years and 2 months, because we were raided 5th of May. June 19th, I think we started the court 2 years later. So 2 years and whatever, 6 weeks. When we found out the Criminal Cases Review Commission, this time, second time, referred the case back, we found out there was much more he had given to us, hadn't given to us. And you won't believe what High Court did. I've never heard of that. He said, "Mr. Hoggett, can you please make sure you have given them everything now? This is the same bastard who's been hiding everything. And the judge, fucking dipstick, is sitting there telling the same bastard, can you assure me it's all been given?" Which policeman would try to fuck himself up in the court? To say, "Yeah, sorry, Judge, I've hidden 6 pages of them." Of course he would say, "Yes, they are."
It was just so, and again, you only find this out
So surreal.
years down the line.
So, can you explain how you got into dance music and then
And how
got
you met
meeting
Manoush?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So I started collecting music at quite a young age, probably about 10 or 11. I was 10 or 11. One of my family members had a massive vinyl collection, so I was always sort of fascinated with vinyl. So I started collecting vinyl, more and more and more, and then sort of age 15 or 16, I started doing DJing with, at the time, my sister's partner was a mobile DJ. So I started doing little gigs with him in pubs and stuff like that.
What year is that?
I was 15, so...
80s?
It was 80s, yeah. It was 86, 87. And then I used to do break dancing as well, so all my friends, we used to do break dancing, and we were always into music, you know what I mean? It was always a big part of growing up for me. My family was always musical. My father was always whistling Irish songs and singing songs. It was always music in the house. So then we got hit with the acid house explosion because you couldn't miss it, and it was bang right on that time.
It's about 88, 89.
88.
Summer of Love.
Summer of Love, yeah. So somewhere in that hedonistic time, I remembered I was DJing. So I'd got the decks by then, and you know, I'd learnt to mix and stuff like that. So I started doing my own events, all dance music, all of sort of acid house at the time, and then house, and then it went sort of,
So
it all split.
from your own raves?
Suddenly
So
doing
from pubs
events.
and clubs to raves?
Yeah.
Illegal?
No, all legal. We used to rent clubs in Leicester Square, like Maximus and the Gas Club, and we'd put events on. This is sort of early 90s. And then I started DJing for Club UK in London, which was quite a big club at the time. That got raided as well, funnily enough. But we went to Ibiza one year, and I was fortunate enough to get some gigs in Space, which is a huge club, and Amnesia as well. I spent the summer in Ibiza in 95, I think. Yeah, 95 or 96. And then I met Manoch. It was Tony DeVitt when he sadly died. There was a commemorative event at Camden Palace. It was on a Thursday night, I think, wasn't it? And Manoch was running the Zap Club, or assisting running the Zap Club in Brighton at the time. So he had come to the Camden Palace that particular night when I was DJing, and he approached me in the DJ box and said, have you got a card or anything? Like, you know, we want to book you in Brighton. And I was really excited by that because the Zap Club was huge at the time. And I went down to the Zap Club and I'd done a gig. And at the time I had an agent. I was just going to say, when I went to Ibiza and I was fortunate enough to play in Space, I ended up getting an agent at the time. So when I met Manoch, I was like, I've got to speak to my agent. I was given my agent's card. And then straight away, I'll never forget, he said, can we do it without the agent? Because I end up paying too much money to agents. I will just pay you. And I was like, yeah, okay, we can do something. And we kind of hit it off, straight away. It was like a mutual respect thing. I don't know, I always found Manoch really honest. And I think in the nightclub industry, there's a lot of
snakes,
a lot of crap talk, a lot of rubbish talk. So it was nice. I think the feeling was mutual.
So you moved to Plymouth when he moved to Plymouth?
No, I started. Obviously, I'd done a few gigs for Manoch at the Zap Club in Brighton, and I don't know. Every time I played there, it seemed to work. It went down well. And then Manoch told me, I'm buying a club in Plymouth. Come and have a look. And I'll never forget, I drove down at the time with a girlfriend, and it was one of them journeys, are we there yet? It's like taking so long to get here. And at the time, the club was not open, but he had acquired it, he had the keys and he showed me around. I'll never forget, there was no ceiling, roof. And this is why we laugh and get angry as well at the same time at the situation now, because the building was 10 times worse then. This was 95, 96. There was no roof. I remember being in the main room of the theatre, and I could see the sky. So Anyway, Manoch said, he's going to get this club going, and I didn't hear from him for about a year or something, maybe a bit longer. It was 98 when I came back to play here. So in that time, Manoch had repaired the roof and done whatever he needed to do, which was, I found out later, was a bit of a battle to get the club open, wasn't it?
That's when the problem with council started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah, so, yeah, I used to be a resident here then, like monthly resident, so I'd come down once a month. I'd remember I'd get on the train at Paddington, be thinking, yeah, I'm going to Plymouth, you know what I mean? Start drinking on the train. But it was good, it was good. You could tell there was a vibe in the club. And it got to a stage where, like I said, we always got on really well, and I don't know, I think I don't think you asked me to come down. I think I just sort of said, I'm moving down, you know what I mean? The club's so good, I'm going to move down and I'm going to...
It's sacred, isn't it, when you get that vibe?
Yeah, it was totally...
hard
And
to
he became
create
a
that.
general manager after
Yeah.
after my girlfriend, we parted and she got married, and she left because she used to do all the office. Then Tom took over, and Tom was the general
So
manager.
I went from the resident DJ
To a superstar DJ.
to running the club basically, but then booking all the DJs, and then we'd always spend a lot of time on the flyer design and the way we promoted the club. We felt that it was a little bit different, a little bit out of the box kind of thing.
Well, is that job title what enabled the council to come after you because you were running the club? So
Well,
you're a
yeah,
conspirator.
Well, I did become the licensee for a time, but we used to get later licenses. Obviously, I knew people in Mix magazine and Music magazine at the time, so we'd do events in conjunction with the magazines. We'd get a later bar license. So the more we done that, the later the club would open, and it kept happening, and so it just kind of grew. It was like organic, you know what I mean? It was like everything grew.
And then we got 8 or 10 o'clock license.
Yeah, the club used to open at 10 p.m. and shut at 8 in the morning. So it went from when I first came here.
Them days we were pioneering on everything here. We were opening all the striptease clubs, bars shut because of us. And they
strippers.
turned into to a proper nice bar. This is how you affect. This is how you put effect for better. The Marines and sailors and this, they had no chance of being nasty in the club. If they would never see the club. And the word was around that, listen, this guy won't let you in
And
if
he's
you
mad.
fuck around in there. And if you fuck around in there, you will never see the club. Do you want to fuck around? And nobody would fuck around.
It's true.
And it was the best.
Brilliant.
To be honest, some topless people used to walk around in the club.
It was like the Wild
Girls.
West in the end, because the atmosphere was so
Yes.
great in there.
Everyone felt safe.
Everyone felt safe. It was like like a
Yes,
family.
topless, completely. I saw many times myself.
It was like a family, you know.
wanted
It
to-
really
Yeah,
was. It was like a big
Got
family.
your own counterculture.
Big family.
What big names did you have in there at the time?
I mean, all the Judge Jules, Lisa Lashes, the Tidy Boys, all.
Tidy Boys.
You
And you
know.
won't believe what they told us.
Go
Pete Tong, all of them were here. Okay? Whoever Dave Pierce. You won't believe what the judge said. Why did you play that music?
Yeah,
Why couldn't you have a line dancing club?
yeah.
No.
I swear to God.
It's in the
And when the judge,
Planet is he on?
when the judge asks you that question in that manner,
Yeah, you just
imagine the effect on jury.
think- yeah.
Because the juries would think, so they were definitely playing that music for this.
For drugs.
Because even the judge is not happy about it. Why did you have so much water on your bars?
It's true.
Free water.
I
And the
swear
free
to
water.
God.
How dare you give free
against
water?
us. It went against us.
I swear to God. He said, you obviously had lots of water because you were... Motherfucker.
So they've gone from commending us 2 years before for doing this for the, you're putting water fountains in, it's a safe environment to club. We had all the harbour centre information, safe clubbing, you know what I mean? Safe taking tablets in a safe manner. They knew what we were doing.
When I met first time ever met my QC, he walked into the room, I never forget, he was taking his raincoat off and they said, this is Manoch. He said, okay, you are the club owner, you had 2 licenses there. It's not your problem. You are the owner. And I said, no, Mr. Don, that's not the point. The point is, nobody's done anything wrong. And he looked at me as if I was crazy. He said, it's your option, but stay with my line. It is not your business. It's their business.
Yeah, put the blame
and in
on.
the court, when I went on the stand, lots of people now say you were stupid to do that. You shouldn't have done it because you should have allowed them because they had fuck all in their lives to take the rap. But I stood there and I say I take full responsibility for all of them because they were honest people, they were innocent people. But if we all did that, what is the point of being a man?
So the police asked you to pin it on Tom?
No.
No?
The QC, the barrister.
The QC,
Asked.
which is above the barrister, is like a judge himself. He told me, it is not your business.
Yeah, so he was putting it on. He was suggesting to put it onto me, or
And everyone else who worked at the club.
Yeah.
Because he said you had 2 licenses which the police have approved, the council have approved. What's your role here? You weren't even here for 6 weeks. Which made a sense at the time. But that made a sense if somebody was like scared, scared, or he had some kind of... If you're innocent and you're proud of your achievement, why would I want to say it was them? So I stood up, I said in the court, and I told him, I said, don't look, they are innocent people, they are decent people. They've done nothing wrong apart from working in a nightclub.
crazy.
You said earlier on that as soon as you opened it, the council had problems.
No, it didn't. As soon as I took over...
As soon as you took over,
okay,
what was the first
by
problem?
then now I had some amount of money because I had to spend loads of money on the building, okay? Left. We go for license, the council says the building is not safe,
Oh, they said it wasn't safe.
okay? So we get reports from these people. The following month we go to court. The canopy is not safe. We fix that, we get report, we go. They drag me for 7 months and they knew I had absolutely limited amount and I was just going because I was still paying the owner lease of, I think at that time was £500 a week. Plus all this building works. I was completely penniless then. And I was really stressed. I lost 1 stone in just over 6 months because I was up all day and night. You don't know the place. I used to live up there and it's 150 steps to go up and down. So I was working, and my girlfriend, to be fair, at the time. We were both knackered. We got to the stage that I was wishing I hadn't done this. What did I do, man? Why did I make such a big mistake? Why didn't I listen to Pat Shevlin or Peter Lawyer? Anyway, it dragged on and on and on, and Cartwright used to act for me for the license because they were big, they still are, one of the biggest firms in the country. But at the time I went to them because I needed someone to be, because the council wouldn't leave me alone for any bollocks. The window is bent here, the door is that. Another month's delay, another month's delay. Eventually, when this bill, 7 months, I think, gone, 8 months gone, I had nothing left then. The same Pat Shevlin, he really cared because I was a good staff for them. You see, I always worked with my heart and not for money. I was highest paid, but I used to put my heart to it, whatever I did in my life. He told me once, he said, look, Manoch, why don't you turn it to a mosque?
What?
A mosque.
Yeah, well, I heard what he said.
And I looked at him, I said, Pat, do you realize you just said? He said, no, what? I said, it's a fantastic idea. He said, don't be stupid. Because he's Irish, he was with that accent, don't be stupid. I said, okay. The following time this building control comes, his name was Chris Wary. I went by the door, they said the council is here. And he was that high. I said to him, get the fuck out of my place, you motherfucker. What? I said, get the fuck out of my place, you motherfuckers. I've had enough of you bastards. Every day you keep coming, this is bent, that is this, window is bent. Cunts. And he ran away. I chased him, he ran away. Less than 48 hours later, less than 48 hours. I told him, by the way, I told him I don't need your permission. I don't want it. I want to turn it to mosque. I'm happy to live above the mosque. That I always wanted to do that for God. It's my faith. Less than 48. I can't remember if it was 24 hours even. Anyway, my girlfriend came and we didn't have mobiles at it. She said, I can't remember what his name was, Michael. He said, the lawyer is on the phone from Cartwright. I said, why? What is that now, Cathy? Why can't you answer? He said, I don't know, you answer. Blah, blah, blah. Because we were both knackered. We were scared of phone calls. We were scared of everything. And we were getting problems from heavies trying to show muscle in. And I had to muscle off, which I don't have. And anyway, got the phone. He said, I don't know what has happened, Manoch, but the council have withdrawn their objections. I said, what? I said, what? He said, yes. So they've withdrawn their objections and I don't see any problem. You should have your license within the next blah, 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 blah.
Unbelievable.
That is, yeah.
Wow.
That was the kick-off. I realized they are as corrupt as fuck. Because if you start with a corrupt lawyer acting for them to read your lease, and then they start giving you hell, where I told them about this Vodafone, 250 quid a week. That was breaking my heart. I needed money desperate. And they said it is on the roof where nobody can see from anywhere. We just put this dish there, give you 200. And then they say no to that. Put their own camera up, the bastards. And then stick this lamppost out there. Few years later, because they realized the club is flourishing, everybody is happy in town. The building is getting better and better because we kept improving the building. And it was dry now because it was being used. It was, as they say, bone dry. They invited for they put an offer. I had this monk and partners acting for me. They were what are they? Agents, state agent, but they do a bit more than that. Property,
chartered accountants
planning,
and all
charter accountant, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, he sent me a letter. He said the council wants to buy it for £1 million plus £20,000 legal fees. Are you interested?
This is when I think this whole thing started.
Okay.
So it went from you having a lease to you owning it.
No,
before that.
I own the freeholding. And nevertheless,
Okay.
I forgot to tell you, it got to the stage. Now this bastard didn't want to sell the freehold.
Oh, I thought it might.
Until
What story?
he turned up with his Rolls Royce and 4-5 monkeys, which I called them at the time. I said, you come down here with fucking 5 monkeys, get rid of the monkeys, and I'll tell you what we do. And he did, he opened it, he opened it. I sat in the front, I said, let's go to your fucking Bideford, wherever you think you can, because he said, don't do this, you know, people get shot these days. I said, yeah, I want to get shot, you motherfucker, let's see now. And he went for about 10 miles, maybe more or less, 10 miles, 11 miles. He kept saying, look, Manoch, leave it out. So I didn't mean it, but I said, no, you told me I may get shot. I want to see which cunt has got the balls to shoot me. Because if he doesn't kill me, I will fucking put his balls in his throat, and yours, motherfucker, and this boxer, because he thought he was a boxer. He was, well, I'll kill him. Yeah, all right then. This is where it hurts. I was hit by a policeman a few weeks ago. Okay? When I talked about it in cell, this is the honest truth. It's going on now as we speak. I was hit. I actually had tears in my eyes because all my life I was hit. I never complained. I always said it's part of my job. Why should I moan? Complain to police to do what? But when I talked about this, because there was 4 of them, 4 police officers on me, and he hit me with his knee where he knew is the word, which I actually this morning I went to.
Yeah.
He hit me, and he was like 7-foot guy, 6'10", tall, big. He kneed me from here a few times, more than once. And because I had my handcuff like this, when I mentioned it to the doctor in prison that I was hit, that's admitting I was hit made me have tears in my eyes. Why I should allow this motherfucker get away with it, which I won't. I told him at the time, even my hands were there, I said, listen, you motherfucker, Bin Laden look-alike bastard. You think you are tough because you hit 66-year-old man with 4 of you on me, and you call that, you can talk about it in the fucking pub tonight to your mates. I hit this guy, 66-year-old guy. Yes, is it tough? Bastard. In my country, impossible you even raise hand to someone who's older than you. You thought you just don't. It respect comes in the generation. You don't even stretch your legs in front of somebody who's older than you. This is how much respect families have in Iran. I've always said that. Before the children are given food, the old man is given the food, and then the children. The children should learn how.
Respect their elders.
This is how I was genuinely upset in the cell. Because they came and said, we want to take your fingerprints. I said, I don't want to do it. We'll do it by force. I said, fucking do it then. And then another one comes. Why don't you want to do it? I said, I don't want to do it. She said, but you may have to do it by force. Why do you like by force? I said, I'm a masochist. Fuck off. And you won't believe, all of this, they had come to tell me there is a public order, 4 police officers, 2 cars, another van comes, yes, to tell me you have to turn up to police station either this Sunday or sometimes in July. Okay? That's all. They could have done it by email, by phone call. And what is the accusation? You swear at somebody. When? Back in January. Okay? Now listen to this. Back in January. And I had already complained to Police Complaint Commission in February. So they had looked to January, which was before I made the complaint, to find something there. And guess what? And then they are taking me, and one says to another one, shall we hit him with few more? Yeah. Okay, I'm also arresting you for assaulting
Unbelievable.
what? Emergency care workers, which is the police now. So I go to police station. They want to talk to me. I said, give me a pen and paper. I write down what. I said, why have you waited 6 months to come now for this? He said, because we've been busy. I said, is that why you sent 4 people to give me a notice? Because you've been busy. And the reason I told them I wasn't going with them, because I got angry, is for 5 years we've been having breakings. Breakings. Left, right, center. I keep writing to the chief of them. We kept complaining. Guess what they said every time we phone? We have no mandate. You're just going to have to let it go. Secure your building better. Put your own... This fucking dickhead MP... This dickhead... Was it this dickhead who told me you have to put your own security there?
Yeah.
This dickhead is supposed to be representing people in this town. This is why city is fucked up. He tells me I have to put £15 an hour plus VAT, my own security to watch the building. This is why I told I said, you have come 4 officers with 2 police cars, and I live in a cul-de-sac. You don't care, you just come here to show off, and I keep complaining about breakings. You tell me you don't have manpower. Where have you got this manpower now coming from? And then they said, okay, we're going to arrest you. I said, okay, do it. They could read me, and I had the slippers on, and I had one T-shirt on, and I turned around, I said, okay, let me put my shoes on. That's it. She jumps on me. No, it's too late now. And then another one joins, and then another one. 4 of them. If anyone said they are not corrupt, he or she is as fucking corrupt as these bastards. And I mean it. I'm not hiding it away, whether it's the MP, but I've told them all to their faces. Don't think I'm only just saying it behind them. I've said worse than this to their face. They are all in it. Which council would tell you you have to do this? Sell it to this person. Arrest me if I'm lying. Fuck me if I'm lying. Take me to court if I'm lying. Motherfuckers. Which council would do this? If you said that in Brighton, they would hang you from in the middle of the street. And I said to her, imagine look how confident you are. You are telling me Tom was there. We got the recording. I said, just imagine how corrupt you all are, that you are not even bothered to hide. We are recording and you are telling me, give it to this blah, 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 blah person.
I think I figured this out.
Go on.
Freemasons.
Yeah.
Good old boys club.
Funny you say that, because this was one of my first questions when we went to prison. I only say it because this is all recorded now, documented. I wrote to my solicitor, even though my handwriting was shit. However I managed to put my view across to say, can you ask if Don or the barrister, the shittiest lawyers, 3 of them, all of them, I said, if any of them had anything to do with Freemasons. It's all recorded. And when I complained against them, you won't believe what happened. It wasn't refused on the merits of it. It was 7 days late. Out of, you have to be within that 6 months, your complaint to be in the, because you are 1 week later, they are safe.
So they didn't have to answer if they were Freemasons.
They just wouldn't answer fuck all. Why we are in prison, I kept asking, who made all these mistakes? Who was responsible? They clearly didn't believe in me when I said in the first place, look, listen, we were
Innocent from...
completely taken because you just won't believe you will be. If you are innocent, why would you give a toss who's taking you to where? You will say, oh, it's going to come out. Doesn't matter. But all these little get together like a jigsaw puzzle and suddenly put you in a deep shit. In a corrupt state of powers, which they're all involved in it. All of them. Every single one of them at the top here are somehow... This MP, I was telling Jen outside, I went to see him, spent 40 minutes explaining to him with my iPad how I've been biased against with evidences. Guess what he did 2 years later? He's completely ignored all that, asked me and wrote on the newspaper front page he should do the right thing and give all his properties to the charity. Motherfucker, what happened to my wife? What happened to my child? What happened to the rest of my family? What happened to the donkey work I put? I said in the court, I worked fucking 70 years in my life. And this motherfucker who became a judge after their prosecution, QC, Mercer, half hour later, he thought he was very clever. He said, Mr. Ramanzadeh, how old are you? I said, just about 50. He said, can you tell the jury how you worked 70 years? I said, yes, I can. I've been working since 15, 16. I always had 2 jobs. Often I had 3 jobs. You add them up, it is more than 70 years. You know what I mean? It was so pathetically, this judge twisting everything against us.
Of course.
Just to make us look stupid to the jury. And jury, I remember once Tom and I, we were walking after the court. You remember one of them, he was like that with googly eyes and googly face. This cunt was within yards of us to see what we are talking about. As if, we've got the... How would he know about drug and disco or nightclub?
Yeah.
Especially if the judge is saying, why couldn't you change it to a line dancing club?
Yeah, he said something else as well.
Because line dancing is so popular in Plymouth.
Yeah.
All right, Manoch, so before we go to the prison stories then, what is the heart of this matter with the council?
It's it, as I explained about half a way about to dealing with council. Obviously, we got to the point that this Monk and partners who were acting for me, or we had asked them to fix this next door, which was the part of Palace Theatre, part of the same building, which is called Great Western Hotel. It's just next door. It's the same facade, the same future. But anyway, because I didn't own it at the time, then I bought it. Then council put an offer to this Monk and Partners for £1 million for freehold, plus £20,000 legal fees. And for that to start negotiations, there was a condition: I give up Monk and Partners and have another firm dealing with it, headed by, at the time was, and so I don't know why, but they didn't want to deal with this firm. They wanted to deal with another firm, which they have very close relationship with.
Freemasons.
Well, they are very closely related, basically, very. So I accepted because I had no problem who's going to deal with it. At the end of the day, it's my say. They set up a meeting in Royal William Yard, their offices. Tom and I attended, and there was at least, I would say, about another 6-7 people, maybe more. Because there was this guy called, was representing, he was the head of SWORDA, which is Southwest Development Agency.
Yeah, Southwest Regional
Development Agency. He was the head of that. And now I believe he's back in the council and he's working for council. He's the one who initially had invited me to all these business meetings to tell me about all the plans around here. This is why I bought these little places around here, which now people think I was lucky to buy it. Do you see what I mean? So this is why they say, give it then. You only blah, 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 blah. They don't realize how much I went through them days with this, looking at his plan and listening how this building is a center of 380 million pounds development. It's called Stonehouse development. This is the Stonehouse because it is one of the most run-down areas in the country. So they have to spend and bring it back up. So whatever you bought at that time would have only been going one way, except my building. Because now they want it for free. Not only it hasn't gone up, they want it for free. So anyway, we agreed, and he was there as well. We all sat, okay. I said, okay, can you tell me why you want it so cheap? Because according to my accountant, the business itself was worth over £1 million because of being successful. The building, if it is worth £1 million, that's 2 million, but you are asking for £1 million. I don't think I put these numbers at the time, but I said, why so cheap? And one of them who had it, I never forget, he had half a ton of fucking grease on his hair. He turned around and he said, because you made money from it? And I said, because I made money from it? What does that mean? What does that mean? Because I made money from it? And anyway, I said, listen to me. I have worked my ass off all my life to get what I have. If you think you can create, because I had a feeling I was warned by these previous owners, they would make sure your business is gone and you are fucked. Don't think they would leave you alone. But I didn't know the extent. So I said, I've worked so hard for all this, and don't even think you can take it off me, because I've put in my will, if I die, to be buried there. And as a burial place, you could not touch it. I said to them, you value it, whatever they say is worth, I give some discount to the city to say thank you. We all agreed on that. Everybody agreed, it's fair enough. They employed King Sturge. The council employed King Sturge in Exeter. They're a big firm for valuation. He kept coming, they kept coming for weeks.
They spent 4 weeks
Measuring, so we had to put people in from early morning till blah, blah, blah.
This is
Measuring,
when the club
doing
was
this.
open and running.
They got hold of my license. They got hold of police records because they knew perfectly well a place, listed building, without business is worth fuck all. And a business like nightclub without a license is fuck all. So they had to check all this. So I provided them, stupid me, 3 years of accounts with accountant in London. 3 years of accounts, everything full. Okay? Not long after, we didn't hear from them. I said to Tom, can you call this King's Stage to find out what's happened to this report? Because everybody seems... I noticed the council has gone very quiet. They are not asking, doing anything, blah, 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 blah. None whatsoever. And he said he had phoned them and he was told by King Sturge that our client has told us not to give you any copy of the reports.
Strange, but true.
Wow.
And
So they'd done 4 weeks going through everything to get that valuation and then refused to give it.
in the meantime, I had bought a small place in town, used to be post office. It was bang in middle of state of council houses, completely full. I thought, what a place this is for delivery, takeaway. It was so good that when the council came to look at it, they said, we can't let you do this. I said, why is that? Just there and then, I asked, why is that? Because it's freehold building, no neighbors to mess around. She said, because this area would be too busy. I said, but surely this is business. Business is invented, created to be busy. If this is the reason, the whole of Oxford Street should be shut down. I swear to God, that's what I said to them, to their face. I said, you know what? Fuck off, bye-bye. Left it. I sold it. Their mentality is that. The same time I asked them to buy these or rent these arches on the seafront. I learned it from Brighton. Brighton had a problem in the town centre with drunken drinking and fighting. They moved everything to seafront, to these arches. And all the problem in there is by the sea. They cut down on trouble, they cut down on noise pollution, on people complaining, neighbors complaining. So when I went there, you won't believe what they said. It has to do with fishery. You can't. Is your business to do with fishery? I said, no, I want to turn them to cafe, clubs, bars, restaurants. No, it has to be, if you want to mortgage your boat for fishery, that is. What fucking fish? There is no fucking fish, you old bastard. But you see this is their mentality. Anyway, they wouldn't give us the thing. Not long after that, we notice all these changes. Oh, I complained against this guy who had worked for us, and he assaulted my nephew in there and stole the till money, whatever, with floats and everything. And he's fucked off out of the club. So it was all on the camera and everything. So I wrote to police. I said, we have the video. We have this. The assault has happened, stealing. They wouldn't want to know. So I kept complaining, digging, writing. Wouldn't know. Eventually, I had a call from some inspector. Why don't you do as you are told? I said, excuse me, who did you say you are? What's your name? And he put the phone down. After that, I had to take the guy to private court, and I won easily. He didn't even turn up there. Okay? Not long after that, the club gets raided. Okay? When we came out of prison, during that time, they would not give us the copy of the reports, which later we found out, if they had, would have saved our ass in the court. Because they had got in touch with police. The police had confirmed it's a good, solid business, good, solid management. That was enough for us.
Yeah.
But they didn't. The reason I got hold of it eventually is when I come out, this time, when I was in prison, the fucking MP, conservative MP, motherfucker, writes to me in prison and he says, I wonder if you can help us with your building. We want to do this. I said, you are not even fucking asking me if my case is a solid one, if it's a good one, or what am I doing in prison. You are worried about the fucking building? Anyway, not long after that, Criminal Cases Review Commission, in one morning, I go to High Court, which I wasn't supposed to, because I was still in prison. But I managed to sneak, because I meant to be working. Fuck the work. What work? I never worked in prison. Never worked in prison. I say it now. They all said, this is work in prison. I said, listen, motherfuckers, it's not every day you have a decent, honest person who's innocent in prison. You think I'm going to work for you for 50p a day? You can do what the fuck you want to do. And they tried everything. Do this, we do, they got all this.
Good.
And I never worked. Anyway, but when I got to open prison, I got a letter from a friend in Brighton, and he said, I want to give him a job. You have to let him out. Okay, then. Every day I was going from prison to gym, straight to gym, to Virgin gym. I was exercising there for an hour, and then come home, have breakfast. I had my home and relaxed till about 8 o'clock back in prison. So I went to, they thought I was selling clothes. Yeah, motherfucker, I would be selling clothes to some dickhead over you bastards. And anyway, in the morning, I went out. I went straight to High Court, which I wasn't supposed to. I asked them, let me go. They said no. I said, okay, I'll go to work. Thank you. But what did I do? I go straight to court. And I was there when they said, okay, he can be free. So they gave
won the
me
case, basically. Won the appeal.
Yeah,
Wow.
they gave me a paper. I came to Brighton, borrowed my friend's Porsche, like this proper four-wheel drive, brand new. I drove it to prison gate. I stopped by the gate. I went to this, like a kiosk. They sit in the behind. So he said, what is this car? Can you move the car? And I went like that with the paper in my hand. I smashed it on the window. And he looked at me and said, what is it? I said, why, can't you read? He said, it's upside down. I turned it this way, and he looked. He said, ah. I said, yeah, that's what it is. Come on, I want to get my things. Open the fucking things. I want to get my... I went in, got a few bits and bobs from prison, and come out, and... Anyway, when this happened, The same motherfucker MP wrote to my lawyer because he had heard them now. The case is out, blah, blah, blah. If we can be any help to your client, blah, 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 blah. I said, tell him, you motherfucker, when I needed you, where the fuck were you? You were worried about my building. Now that you know I am out and because I'm innocent, you want to make your career out of this? And exactly, she put exactly the same. My client is not happy for you to get any involvement. Fuck off. As if I care I'm in the paper or not. 35 years ago, if I wanted book written about me, I had that Des O'Connor's daughter, Karen O'Connor. I don't know if you know her or anybody know her, but my lawyer knew her. She wanted to write a book about me and my life 35 years ago in Brighton. But one day she woke me up. She said, come on, my mom is here. She's put champagnes in the... I said, go and fuck your mom and yourself. Bye-bye. I was like that. I didn't give a toss. What? Do I care if I'm written a book about me? What do I do? What happened? Or this, I'm important. No. Many people see me in the street. In the club, they never knew. When I used to work on the door, whether you believe it, in the Zap, running it and everything, and few other, I used to run lots of bars and clubs, even in London and La Palais. People used to come to the door, talk to me and say, I'm mate with Manoch. You say, how are you? Because they were expecting someone 6 foot with muscle like that. And you know what I mean? Even in prison, when I was in prison, people used to come and say, are you Manoch? Manoch, I heard your name is Manoch. Are you to do with that guy in Brighton? I used to say, yeah, it is me. Really? And they used to go, we thought it was like this, like that, like that. It was never that. You have to use your brain instead of this thimbles you fucking all day pick up and put it down. So, anyway, going back to this, when I came out of prison, they set up a big meeting, which now we know this guy who I told you about, this Heritage England guy, inspector, he was apparently in that meeting, but we didn't know that. He told us afterwards, he said, you don't remember me, I was in that meeting. I said, oh, really? They were all sitting. So they were talking about the future of this. So I got up before they started. I said, okay, how do I know this time you are not going to go back again like last time and tell what happened to that fucking report? Why didn't you give it to us? And his face went, but we didn't stop it. I said, no, you did. Are you going to give it to us now? He said, yeah, of course. Yeah, we will. I said, okay, in front of all these witnesses, because there was loads of agencies sitting there, all government agents. I said, and in front of all these agencies, you are saying you would give it to us now? He said, yes. I said all this, anyway, I said, fuck off, all corrupt bastards. I walked out. I didn't sit there, I walked out. Within 1 week, we got the report. But this is after the incident, after we got fucked.
It's years later. It's years later.
How many years?
This was...
We don't know, 2 years after we came out of prison.
2012, 13?
And the police had, you won't believe, before the raid, the police had, the council and the police had granted our license. Just before. In the court, they said, because we had lots of backlog, we did it. Because lawyers said clearly they were good because you just approved it. Do you see how they were doing us? They asked this, my lawyers asked this policeman who done the intelligence report, commending us, and he said, yeah, but I done it all on the screen, or from the screen, or like. They washed everything down to suit their own purpose. And then when we got this report, I asked the council about, can you give me some information about the meetings which we had? Guess what they said? We can't remember having meetings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I had to go back to this woman. To be fair, she eventually found the notes of the meetings for it. And she said in their loft or wherever, in their office, it was there, but we eventually found it for you, Manoch, which was very kind of her. But the council up to now, to this day, denies, we can't remember. And when I pushed, they said, our records don't go back that far.
Gone.
Finna.
Okay?
Gone.
Now you sit down and tell me they are not corrupt. They are as corrupt as fuck. And they seem to, man, if I told you things, not long ago, 4 months ago, they write a letter to me. You need to clean this back area. Because I've had a complaint from neighbors. And on purpose, I wrote back, I said, okay, what would you like me to do about it? And knowing that it's not my land, it's their own land. Okay, so he said, you have to clean it and make sure it will never happen again. I wrote back, I said, hey, fucking pisshead, it is your own land. It belongs to council.
Because they had argued about
And
it
then-
years before.
CTV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Years before, and it cost me thousands of pounds on lawyer's fee because I tried to take the ownership of that land, which we didn't succeed. They wouldn't have it. So he wrote back, he said, thank you for, sorry for the mistake and thank you for clarifying. I wrote back, I said, this wasn't just a capital mistake or clarifying. Council gets paid by our money. This is spent by our money. Public money has been spent on this. Especially if I spent thousands of pounds to take ownership. So who had looked where before sending this letter? Do you understand? People think I've been sitting here and doing fuck all with these buildings. These buildings are cost me hundreds of pounds a week to maintain, to just maintain these breaking ins. 2 years ago, I wrote to council and sent a copy to MP. There was a developer. He wanted to develop the whole area. You should have bit his fucking finger off for it. He said, on one condition, we acquire the car park at the back, because without that it's very difficult to do anything. Outright dismissed by council. I said, why is that? They said, you have other plans for it. I said, you haven't had fucking plans for it for 35 years. And because they don't know how far I go back, how much knowledge I have from information these. He kept saying, no, we have other plans to exchange. Eventually I said, you better ask Carl Budden. When he was showing me the plans, he specifically told me this car park is for Palace Theatre. Do you see what I mean? They send each other fucking email from this table to that desk. They don't even know which ass stinks from where. And when you catch them red-handed like the way I did with that Hannah, She fucking run like a mouse. And I chased her. She ran into a room where they make coffee and tea. In front of all her colleagues. She ran in there. I went after her. She pushed the fire exit door open and ran from there. A woman who turns up as a fucking charity worker turns out to fucking working for the same person who I said I won't deal with cancel. My lawyers gave me the hint when I was in prison. They have valued for confiscation, valued this building for £1.
What?
Your confiscation is £1 million. Do you want to exchange this for £1 million? I said I wouldn't exchange it for £50 million. I would not give up ownership. Now this has happened, I will die in it. No way I will let them put their hands on it. It has gone past that red line which the money would have remedied it. Is not. It has gone past that issue. It has become a principle. How can I? Once one policewoman told us in front of town, police sergeant, I know her name, in case you want. Do you remember, Haylem? There was another inspector with her called. They came because I kept complaining, my places are being broken into. Why don't you do fuck all about it? You catch people bleeding hands. 12 of them, 10 of them, 6 of them, you let them all go. Why the fuck? Because your buildings are not safe. So they made an appointment, they came to see the building and they said, actually it's okay. Motherfuckers, I've been telling you it's okay for 2 years. Anyway, she goes, why don't you do something with these properties? They are so dilapidated and it's obviously a thorn in the eyes of a... I said, why would I do that? She said, don't you find that they are a bit too strong for you?
I was going to ask that. Have you ever been tempted?
Guess what I
Wash
said
your
to them?
hands? Yeah.
To her, this would answer you. I said to her, I'm going to ask you a question, but I want your honest answer. She said, yeah, go on then. I said, imagine I rape you. And her face went exactly like that. I said, no, just imagine that. I rape you. 6 months down the road, I come back and say I want to rape you again because I'm stronger. Would you let me have a go? Because I'm stronger. What are you going to do about it? I suppose you have a point. I said, of course I have a point. How can you fuck someone and then expect them to throw a towel in front of you? Come and fuck me again, my friend. Because you fucked me so good last time. I enjoyed it. In fact, I've become a fucking... It is like as if it is a joke. People take it as... Many people tell me, move on, move on. The probation officer, move on. I said, move on where? He said, just let it go, let it go. I said, okay, you got to answer me. Can you imagine, now we are sitting in this office, that door opens, 2 people come in, put handcuff on your hands. Do you have children? He said, why? I said, do you have children or no? I'm not asking boys, girls, how many. Do you have it? Yes. I said, can you imagine these 2 people come in, put handcuff on your hand and say you've been molesting your children? What would you do? Would you fucking allow them to get away with it? It's not that I wasn't doing anything for it. I had put my own life on this fucking club. Personally. And I say it personally. Millions of people told me, whoever knew me, man, you're playing with fire here. These lot are going to do you here. That the people who I banned, when they turned up in a pub here, All my securities left. Can you believe this? He came to the door and he said, look, Manoch, to my office upstairs, we have to go. Why? Because these guys are all in the pub down here, street. It was not long from here. And they are all in there having a drink to get ready to come here. And my staff and myself, we are not willing to do this. And this was coming from one of the tough fucking shits who used to call themselves. You remember Steve Fass?
Yeah, of course.
Like that. They all left. They said, you better shut the club. I said, what? Shut the club? You want to go? Fuck off. I called it guys who do glass collecting. I said, you just go and stand each of you by one fire exit to make sure nobody comes in to open the fire exit, because that would have been the problem. Then they all would have come in. And of course, we have lots of fire exits. We didn't have enough people. I went outside and I stood on the door myself. Just like this. And I went to see them in the pub. They were all standing there with roll-up joints and everything, coke, doing coke. I said, I'm told you want to all see me, guys. Yes. Why? Because I had a fight with, proper punch-up. Not once, not twice. I smashed my mobile them days. You know, these mobiles used to be Nokia, strong Nokia. Smashed it on somebody's face. Coming all this bollocks about you are killed, you are murdered, you are dead. We are going to do this. In fact, he had gone to one of their pubs the other day, who now he owns the pub fucking himself. And he said to him, oh, how is Manoch? He was fucking blah, 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 blah. Because my policy was, you want to that badly, you have to kill me. If you just want to do it, you want to punch up, I show you how to fight. Fight has nothing to do with your size and strength and this and that. Fight, you have to have a brain. With someone, you stick to the fight. With someone, you wrestle. With somebody, you headbutt. With somebody, you don't. You use a fucking knife. Whatever you can. This is the difference. You don't like bear. Yeah, all right, they are all scared. It's not about that. I put my personal life on this. This is where it hurt me most in prison. There was people who was in prison, and Lithuanian or Ukrainian guy. He was 6 foot odd. He was in prison for murder. He had killed somebody with punch. One punch. One punch in a fight, and he was in prison. And he came one day, I was at the gym. I was doing the little bench, like, I don't know, 10 kilos, 20. He said, hurry up, I want to do that. I looked at him, I said, what? He said, hurry up. I said, okay. So I took on purpose even longer. Now I'm going like on 50, 56. And he said, hurry up. Got up, I said, listen, you motherfucker, I don't know where you come from. He said, don't fucking blah, blah, blah. And we were, because he was taller and he had a bald head. When I was talking to him, his sweat was dripping because we were in the gym, dripping on my face. But I wouldn't. It is not me. I remember, because people, whoever wanted to show off, who was the best man? Manoch is the man. Is this? And if you have some money, you always buy tobacco for this guy. I always had cheese, bacon, whatever I wanted from restaurant come direct, flask, milk, and because I used to buy them. Okay, tobacco, fine. You have 5 gram, 10 gram. And if you can stand. Anyway, one day we had no shower in our area. I went to another area. It's a fucking prison at the end of the day. I was showering and this guy came and his name was Martin. Big Martin, they used to call him. You're not from here, are you? And I had finished shower. I said, no, I'm from Wing, blah, blah, blah. Okay, then we don't like others come and have shower here. This is the last time you come here. So I took all my clothes off again. I went back in the shower. I said, okay, let's not wait for the next time. I'm back in the shower again. All he had to do was come and shake my hand. I was only joking with you, Manoch. I didn't mean it. I said, no, I don't like being fucking told what to do, where to do. This is a fucking prison. You don't like it? Bye-bye. That was, what I'm trying to say is, I earned all this by putting my life. If you ever find anyone, this goes viral, public, people know, billions of people. If you find one person to come and say, Manoch made 1 penny from this drug, I will give you my life. My life. And putting all that in power, going to prison, I said in the court, I said, listen, bringing me here to court is for drug. Why did I started by saying, listen, when I used to work on the door, club tablet was 25 pounds, 30 pounds. I did not, my whole wages was 30 pounds. If I didn't do that now, why would I be doing it now if the tablet is £1 and I'm charging 15 pounds a head to come in? Does that make sense to you? Which was honest truth. And I said, bringing me here with this charge, it's like taking Nelson Mandela for racism. But they were all as thick as fuck. I keep repeating, we have gone through this. You just do it every day. You go every day, you go through it.
Yeah, it doesn't leave you.
Whether you like it, whether you don't, no matter how powerful you are, it is like ants inside you, goes up and down. Not probably because what you lost. That's not important. The money side. If I did care, I would have rented these ages ago. But the fact that they raped you and got away with it, and they are still laughing at you. The only time I felt good is when, a few years back, I think you may see it on the Facebook, we were showing somebody around, he wanted to rent it or buy it or something. And I saw a woman and a man fiddling with this fire exit. So I went and I said, what the fuck do you want here? And he said, who the fuck, who are you? I said, I own the fucking place. And who are you? He said, oh, detective, and this is detective from Leeds. She's come here to investigate a crime. And he shook my hand. He said, I'm so sorry about what happened to you. We heard about your case. In the station, everybody is aware of that. And this his sorry saying made us so feel great that I went straight the same day. I called my lawyer. I said, this is what has happened. And I'm really touched. So I put on the Facebook, I said, this is what's happened. I was with Tom and a few others, and this is 2 policemen. He sort of apologized. He said he's sorry, so that's he on his own. And it makes me like, I regret if I've called everybody a fucking corrupt and blah, 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 okay? So if it made us feel a little bit good. And then when all these, I was talking in the police station on the record to another motherfucker, and she thought she was, what was his name? Do you remember that? She told me. What was his name? Do you remember? I said, listen, I don't have to tell you your job. How often do you get detective coming from Leeds here, investigating a crime outside Palace Theatre? And another detective is accompanying her. He said, yeah, I suppose right. I said, yeah, of course I'm right. Because you could, as if like I would say his name. I could have said his name, which I couldn't even remember because that didn't matter to me. To me now, all of them are police. All of them. Which I told you what happened. And this is after last year. I have a row with vigilantes about my dogs, why they are in this heat in the car. Not too long story. I come down, he does a runner. So I come back home, then the police comes to the door. I open the door, yes. Is this your car? Yes, sir. He said, you've been a knob. I said, wait a minute. Then I got my phone, and it wasn't even recording because I don't know how to record it at the time. I said, what did you just call me? He said, I didn't call you anything. I said, no, don't lie, you motherfucker, fat ginger bastard. Don't you motherfucker. I said, did you call me knob? He said, no, they called you knob. I said, they can go and fuck their children and their grandparents and their neighbors and their fathers, mothers, whoever knows them, including you. You can do exactly that. And his face. I said, listen, you useless bastard. You think I'm one of these refugees? You go knock on his door and call him a fucking knob? Motherfucker, look at your fucking face. I swear to God, he sat in his car. He sat in his car and he speed off running.
I'm not surprised.
I complained. The sergeant comes, the sergeant or inspector, Chapman, Ian Chapman this time. I'm from Bodmin. Okay, then sit down. He listened and he agreed. Look, I had 4 visits from 5 police officers, okay? 2 of them blamed the liaison officer for the mistake, okay? This is living in a cul-de-sac. You can imagine what I went through. This is all in the past few years, 2 years, okay? 2 of them, for separate incidents, they were given case management courses. That's how they had fucked it up. So imagine all this within 5 days happened around my house.
Bet your neighbours loved you.
It's not that. I didn't give a fuck about the neighbors. The issue was, I kept telling them all to fuck off, you motherfuckers. Because they were doing the wrong, not me. I wasn't doing anything wrong. They didn't know their job. And the officer, and they've learned now. In fact, a few weeks ago when I was in police station, the guy who wanted to do the interview said, you don't know me, but I know you. I used to know you very well. You know to know. I ignored as if I didn't hear it. But when I was leaving, I said, what's your name? He said, Tim. As if it would matter. Motherfucker, I asked your proper name if you have it, but it's clearly shitting himself now. Tim. Tim. Yeah, all right. Okay, Tim. Bye, Tim. It's like all this, they done, all of them. Still, when my complaint was upheld, he asked me what I want to do with it. I said, nothing. I don't want to fuck up his career. He's a young policeman. Just tell him to lose some weight, he'll be all right. But do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
After all this, I still was kind and happy to let him go. No one would have done that. Not in my position. And then this happens again. Why? Because I complained to the Police Complaint Commission. And what have they done? It's a new thing now. When you complain to them, they refer it to the same fucking police. So imagine, I've come to complain to you, This guy is shagging me every day and not paying me. What do you do?
Refer it to him.
Refer it to him. Tom, do you pay him or no, really? Because he's very upset about the pay. So what do you do?
You fucked.
Exactly. The system is fucked. When I was hit like this, I spent 11 hours in A&E. 11 hours. That is when I said to my partner, 100% national health is gonna go. Because that's how they do it. They fucking make you just give up. Who would sit there? Because of that, I sat 11 hours, my back went. Another fucking pain came on top of that. That was forgotten. Then my back was killing me. Because 11, can you imagine we've been here for 3 hours and we are having a laugh or talk or whatever. In that environment, 11 hours. It wasn't just the first day I went, we left after 3 hours because we had to take the child to the school. The second time I went, it was exactly the same. 10 hours and we waited 11 hours. And we still didn't see a doctor. We saw one of these nonsense nurses, whatever it is. She came and said, I can't give my opinion. I said, give your opinion. And she gone. That's it. I said, if I knew I had to wait 11 hours for this.
They're not in touch with the council.
You won't believe I called Nuffield Hospital. I called Nuffield Hospital. I told them I want to come there and I want to pay you bastards. What more do you want? Motherfuckers are telling me, you have to be referred by a GP. How do I find a fucking GP? GP can't see you. They can only call you back if that's emergency. And for that, you have to call 8 in the morning. You call fucking 8 in the morning, you are on the phone till about 9:30 before somebody answers you. And by then, they say, sorry, all times are taken for today. You have to try again tomorrow, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
This is showing us national health is going to go.
Yeah.
They are putting all this at the moment to make us be prepared to pay for it. Because for your time, how much time your time was, if imagine 11 hours for me,
What's
I
it
would
worth?
have loved to pay 100 quid and not wait that long.
Yeah. Of course.
All of us are the same.
All right, we've got about 30 minutes left, Tom. So, can you, like, when you went in court getting sentenced there, did you imagine you were going to prison that day? Did you know?
Yeah, the judge actually said that I was going straight to prison because my barrister actually asked, couldn't Mr. Costelloe go to prison in a couple of days? And the judge said, no, absolutely not. He's going straight to prison. You know, my barrister said, you know, could he have a couple of days to prepare? And he was like, no, he should have prepared, you know.
So what was
Even my lawyer said to him, he's got all these properties. Give him a week or 10 days or 2 weeks till he sorts out his... He didn't even wait for sentencing us to put in prison.
Yeah, they said
He
it's
put us in prison as soon as they said he's guilty. He said, okay,
Straight
take
to
them
prison.
in.
So what was that like? Where did you go?
Oh, it was awful. We went straight to Exeter prison. Yeah, it was awful.
What when you say it's awful, what was awful about it?
Well, you know, you just suddenly, your life's just gone, you know, and it's the reality of, because we never got sentenced at that point. We had to go back for sentencing like 3 weeks later, something like that.
On remand.
So it wasn't remand, we'd been found guilty, and the judge actually said it's a very serious charge. So, yeah, you know, you're going straight to prison.
What category then were you?
We went to Exeter, which is a B cat, but I think they categorised us pretty much straight away. We were C cat.
Did they split you up?
They did. We went from Exeter prison. We went to Channings Wood. We didn't have a choice, but we kind of did have a choice. It was strange. It was like, do you want to go to Dartmoor or do you want to go to Channings Wood?
Channings Wood, 100%.
So, well, yeah, we that's what we thought, and that was just just as awful. It was like a boot camp. It was horrible, just horrible experience.
And were you in the cell on your own when you got there?
Well, no, we were together for quite a while.
So you were cellmates?
Yeah, we were cellmates for quite a while, and then they split us up once we. I think we were about 2 months into it when they split us up.
All right, so for that first 2 months when you guys are cellmates, how's the prison population treating you or reacting to you?
Tell them who turned up in prison.
Everyone felt
Fraser.
Everyone felt sorry for us. Everyone was being
One
nice to
of
us.
the witnesses against us, he didn't have anything to say, but he was a door. He said we had ambulances very often outside, like once a week or some shit.
Well, he was a doorman at the club.
That's all he had to say. Ambulances outside. But he turned up in prison.
For dealing drugs.
Ooh.
Can you believe this?
So yeah.
This is the star flipping witnesses. And they found, I don't know how much gram, I don't know how it fit, in his wife's fanny.
What?
I swear to God. The A-class drugs they found in his wife's fanny, and this motherfucker was giving evidence to say there was lots of ambulances coming to the club. Tell me, motherfucker. And you know what? These two, including the Mr. Grass, they both had criminal records. None of this came out in our court. They were given as a shining symbol of perfection to the court. And we came as a... Since when you find cocaine in Iran?
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Pablo Escobar.
How?
Colombia.
Yeah.
Iran.
How?
A bit far away.
All we have is fucking Persian rock and a Persian cat. If we have some fucking
Pistachios.
drugs, it is coming from Afghanistan, which is opium.
Opium.
That's all it is. Since when we have cocaine, they wouldn't even know what cocaine is in Iran.
Makes no sense.
And this cunt stands and tells the court, intelligence suggested he was involved in importation of Where is it? Where is this intelligence? How can he get away with that?
Corruption.
Only if the judge wants him to get away with that.
Yes. Freemason.
Only if the judge wants to get him get. Otherwise, I have been to other courts. You are not allowed to talk shit. You are not even allowed to, without base. This is completely baseless. Where does it come from? I could stand up here and say, your mother was a whore. Because I heard that from somebody else, which I said about one of these police, 5 of the police, which I told you. I said to this inspector, I said, I was told this policewoman, she used to work in a red light district in the Union Street at night. Do you know anything about that? And he said, no, I don't. I just wanted to be spiteful. We can do the same. If you tell us we are this, then we can say you are a fucking prostitute.
Hearsay.
I remember saying to my solicitor, he had come to see me and I'd been in prison for about 2 weeks. And I was like, get me out of here, you know, what are you doing? Why did it go so wrong? Like, and he was like, you'll be all right.
Really?
Yeah, and I was
Didn't give a
like,
shit.
and I'd lost it then, and I was like, you come and sit here, I'll walk out of here, you spend 2.5 years or 5 years sentence for doing what exactly? You know.
So when you saw that snitch then in prison, how did he react to seeing you guys in there?
Did he shit himself?
Yeah, pretty much. He didn't.
He's talking about Fraser.
Yeah, I know. He wanted to. He
wouldn't come out of his...
He wouldn't come out of the
Won't
wing.
come out of
The
his-
wing.
Come out of the wing.
He wouldn't.
No.
Until I went to him,
Yeah, you had to go and
Or did you
talk
talk to him?
because I knew some scouts in there. And they are the ones who I told you came in the... told me if I was Manoch, that recognized or heard of me or whatever. Because we got loads in Brighton. Scouts. He was scared that all these scouts are gonna give it to him. He wouldn't come out of this metal ever. So I went and I passed the message first. Look, I haven't got anything against him, but I want him to do something. And then went and spoke to him there. Then he started gradually relaxing. I said, I want this information. And he kept saying, look, you won't believe how much pressure the police was putting on us.
He opened up then, do you know what I mean? Because that was what we wanted him to do anyway, is just be honest.
And did you feel sorry for him?
No.
No, because it was just...
But it wasn't much he said.
Yeah.
It was the way it had taken out of context.
Everything
like
was
he
taken
said,
out of context with it. It's just,
when the judge is criticizing you for selling water, having water in the club, what do you expect from jury to do? And telling him, why did you have to play that music? Motherfucker, Radio 1 is playing this music. What do we do about it?
I think when we got to prison as well, very quickly, and obviously we moved from Exeter to Channings Wood, but in both prisons we were told that we wouldn't have to do any behavioural courses, which straight away you get and they call it an OMU, like an offender manager, and both of us, I remember meeting mine, and she was like, I don't know what to do with you. And then straight away you think, if I'm, if I've got no courses to do, what shall I do then? How shall I improve on my persona?
How did it feel when you guys got split up in prison?
I mean, it was just, it wasn't very nice, but
Look,
I think we both
9 years.
we went
he
on
was doing
different
5.
paths, yeah. And I think they put a bit more pressure on Manoch because Manoch,
They sent me up to Midland.
yeah, they
Is
sent,
that Cat A?
it was BCAT they sent me.
So you went from a C to a B?
Yeah, they come and done the 6
They
o'clock in the
wanted
morning ship out for.
They wanted
Manoch.
to fuck me up, but I just wouldn't give in. I just didn't give a fuck. I thought it's gone now. What do I do? The best is to make the best of what. And I learned that from this guy who was. The first day we went into prison, somebody came and sat next to me and said, "You are Manoch, aren't you?" Yes. He said, "Look, the best to do here is see these 4 walls around us. Just imagine nothing exists behind it.
them. Yeah.
This is only the world you know." I thought, what a fantastic... most people, including Tom, they used to get emotional about partner, girlfriends, and this and that. I just, at that time, I said, fuck them all. What she wants to send me a photo, oh, this is me, I'm a wank in the prison. No! Do you know what I mean? No, fuck you, I don't want to... And I always used to think the worst. I used to think, at least here, there's some kind of law and order. You get food 3 times a day. You get this, smoke, What happened if I was in Gambia in prison? What would I do then? So when you think about that, this one becomes a hotel for you. But if you think about if Saturday night I wish I was out with my girlfriend, what you have becomes a bloody double prison. And that's what you have to stay away from. This was our case. He was thinking about the girlfriend or just something like that, or playing music for people. Just going like, yeah, up yours, mate, up there. And I was thinking about that worst bit. So I was just thinking, oh, that's all right. It will pass. It will go.
So Tom, were you the resident DJ
Yeah.
in the prison?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Probably, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any trouble in there?
No. It was
No trouble?
No, we were kind of. I think everyone felt sorry for us, really. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone,
To be fair,
everyone knew our case, and everyone.
this has to be said. In prison, there is some kind of respect for people who are innocent in prison. And
Definitely.
if people believe that, they somehow they try to be respectful to you
Yeah.
rather than treating you like any other blah blah blah. blah.
I think I had a little bit of nonsense with someone over some tobacco.
How
But-
did that start?
Oh, it was just, when we moved to Channings Wood, the guy lent me some tobacco. So then when I paid him back, he then said, "You didn't pay me back."
Double. He wanted double.
Yeah, well, I paid it, and then he said, "You didn't pay it back." I said, "Yes, I did." And then he was like, "We're going to have a fight." So you have to do, you have to stand up for yourself.
Did you have a fight?
Well, kind of, yeah, but not. It was a bit silly. Once I went crazy at him, he was just, sorry, and your name's off the list.
So he heart checked you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They pushed me to work in a tailor's. Was it tailor's?
Taylor,
Were
yeah.
you there?
Sewing, yeah. Of
You
course.
were there?
Yeah, we were both there. Yeah, sewing jeans.
The first few days, I had a big, massive fight or row with this guy.
Prisoner.
You remember that
yeah,
guy?
I do, yeah, of course.
Big one. And then after that, I was always sick, not well. Today I'm not well, I'm not going.
What was the
After
row
that.
over?
I think I can't
It
remember.
was just, nothing.
I just wouldn't stand anyone talking
Yeah.
shit or doing
Yeah.
shit things, and
Yeah.
especially I hated dirty ones, and some people were just stinking or dirty, and you won't believe. Often you see people with mental issues. They shouldn't even be in
there.
prison.
There's loads of that.
Loads
of
everywhere.
that.
And you just think, how am I going to make conversation with this guy? Or music, somebody wants to keep. Why do you want music so loud?
Yeah.
As if like they want to annoy you. There was a Yardy guy, which I told him, I said, why the fuck do you want this music to with that music? It's not music, it's like a music. Boom, 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 boom. It's, you just can't understand the mentality in it. As if they want to tell everybody else, I can do it.
Yeah, there's a like a
And I wouldn't fight him because I had to start the fight. I knew. I went in front of him. I told the officer, I said, listen, see this guy? He's fucking my brain up. If he carries on, I'm going to lose it. Either stop the music or I'm going to stop it. Okay, fine. And he was shipped out. because they must have given loads. And he was a proper Yardy, like, yo, kapula, but to me. What, my friend? So what if you are Yardy or Pardy or Dardy? Let's talk. This is prison. But that's how they are. As if, and they want, now you're asking Tom, like double. He's given him his tobacco. The bastard wants another one.
yeah, straight away. So you have to have that angst, and you have to have that bit of. You have to stand up for yourself, basically. If you don't stand up for yourself, then you're going to get walked over.
Did you feel Manoch was going to intervene?
No. It
No.
was, he had his own stuff to deal with. Yeah.
No, to begin with, I was annoyed with this guy who turned up in prison. I kept watching him to see when he's coming out. That witness. But
Yeah,
then
and
when the
this is
news
it.
more came out, and he was.
Most people were really considerate for our case. It was quite.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting that. I was expecting to be kicking off, and because you see that. Of course, you see that. But most people were really considerate with our.
Honestly, even the people I had slapped, the big
Even the
gang
screws.
leaders or whoever,
Yeah, and the screws as
came
well.
and shook my hand. And they
Gang
said,
leader you slapped before prison.
Yeah.
He came and shook your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't hide from them. Just there and Manoch, all right? Yes, all right, mate. Yes, you okay? Oh, yeah, let's shake hands. And they were shaking hands, to be honest with you. And if it wasn't because of some of them, to be honest, we would have never found out about this being a proper snitch.
Yeah.
It was them who found all this up. It wasn't. It was other prisoners.
Some of them are still in prison now as well.
And
Because of him.
All that time. Yeah.
yes, and there was for another prisoner who we found out who the judge was. He had the book of who is who. And while he was on it, like we were, I can't remember, I was sitting in his cell, or you can't remember, but we were there. And he said, who was your judge? I said, his name was Francis Gilbert. Fucking bollocks of Sherbrooke. That was, he had to have some certain names after his name. Francis Gilbert, of bollocks of Sherbrooke in blah, blah, blah. Okay. When I told him, within a few minutes, he said, what was your case against the council, Luna? I said, yeah. He said, but he used to be a councillor. I said, what? Yeah, man. You can only find this. I tell you what, my second lot lawyers, you probably know them, Hickman and Rose. She started writing a book, and she spent 6 months on it. But she had her own issues with health because she got kidney transplant, and she stopped. And she said actually to me that she didn't realize it would take so much time to write this book. She was a bit, but she done this appeal things for 40 years, and she said it to media that this was the worst she'd ever seen in her life because it wasn't accidental. You know, sometimes you have DNA mixed up. Sometimes you hit somebody, but how can I say, you've stabbed somebody, so there is evidence of some wrongdoing. But this was none of that. This was just pure putting innocent people in prison. From what they were telling us to how they acted on it.
Yeah, I've got no shame in saying that. I found the whole thing horrifying. It was horrifying. And, the only way to get around it is to make joke of it. You know, there's a prison humour that runs through every prison, which is, it keeps you going, it keeps you alive.
You never see us talking, ever, no matter 4 in the morning, 12 midday, 7 in the morning, and not end up talking about the case.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Manoch, do you want to tell Sean what part of the council the judge was in? I don't think he knows.
He was in charge of property and development. Yes, he was in charge of. Is he still on Who I Know? I tell you, when Vice magazine, I told them, he was hesitant to put it down. I said, if you don't put it down, I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, look. If you look, then you have to put it down.
He didn't want to write it.
He didn't want to write it. He didn't want. Look, we changed the. You won't believe the way they wanted to trap us. They started by saying, they are a bit concerned about your number of securities and maybe your security camera is not adequate. Okay? This is like building a grounds for it. What did I do? Put a brand new smack camera there, system, $3,000 at the time.
32 cameras or something.
Okay.
Crazy.
Listen to this. He came and he had a look at them. What did they say about it in the court?
One camera wasn't working, wasn't it?
It wasn't that good of a camera.
Because one of them wasn't working.
Which he was telling to our face, it's great, man. In the court, they completely changed it to it wasn't adequate. They changed everything they could to benefit. Who would have thought about stopping the council? They had asked, the same time when this happened, asked the Harbour Centre to stop coming here. They also had to ask environmental health officer to write in his book that the place is very disgusting. And this is the guy who passed it few weeks earlier.
What about the undercover cop who got arrested? No, the corrupt cop who got arrested, who ended up in the prison. What did you learn from him?
That's exactly, he told me. He said, look, exactly what we used to do is what they've done with your case.
Which is what?
I didn't see this. This was when you went on.
This is when I told you, is like in my oldest statement, what they had done was in my statement, because I had no lawyer and I didn't have any reason to have any lawyer. I sat there and answered 8 hours of questioning, 9 hours, 13, 14, maybe more. I'm just guessing. It was this much tape. What I missed it, would you believe? I get angry sometimes because it's
the corrupt cop that was arrested and put in your prison.
Yes, I asked him. He said what these lot had done was in typing.
Change the words.
They dropped the words.
Yeah, missed words out.
Which mattered.
Yeah.
Like I had said to them specifically, I always told my staff never to make friends with punters, because they would put you on the spot and they would demand favors, and you don't want to do that. What they do? Drop the knot. So they said in the court, I always told my staff to make friends with the punters. Yes. And I said, he said, you used to make, like, for instance, 20 grand a week. I said, actually, we sometimes used to make 20 grand a night. What I had in mind was New Year's Eve. And we had very successful Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Okay? Or if we had, like, massive lineup, which the cost was £17,000 just for the DJ.
Judge Jules.
Okay? Then we were charging £25 a head. Imagine if you had 1,500 people, plus the bar, plus this, plus that. Boosh! They dropped that sometimes and told the court he used to make 30 to 40 grand a night.
So if you're a member of the jury, that's what you're straight away suspicious, and you're thinking, how's he making that money?
Especially if they are jealous and you are fucking foreigner, not from this town.
So we're running out of time then. Is there anything you want to tell the viewers then in conclusion?
No, I want to thank you guys for coming.
Look, let me tell you something. This is important because I forgot to tell you. On a Saturday night, they raided the place, yes? They found fuck all. I got a call from Tom. I was in Brighton. I had a bad chest. I'd been to hospital in Brighton. I said, Tom, it's okay, calm down. It happens. It's probably nothing. We didn't know the extent of it. The sergeant calls me. Sergeant, what a corrupt motherfucker he was. He says, this is 5 a.m, yes? Which is now, you say 5 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Okay? He called me. He says, is that Manoch? Yes. I said, yeah, it's Manoch. What's up? We need to see you at the Charles Cross police station. I said, no problem. I drive down. I'll be there for tomorrow morning. Okay? That's 5 a.m. I'm telling him I'll be there. What time? 10 o'clock in the morning for Monday morning, yes? Because the court was on Monday, 2 o'clock in the p.m.
For the license.
For the license, which they managed to revoke it there and then. How? Now listen to this. I go Monday morning. I drove at night. I got there Sunday. Stay in the morning. I go. Good morning. Hey, hi, Manoch. We go to inside, and then he takes me to cell. So I thought it's gonna be finished in a minute. I've come by my own will. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Later on that day, 2:00 in the afternoon, they go to magistrate court. Tell the court I haven't turned up. So what is got magistrates? What can they do? Apart from taking the license, he doesn't even fucking bother to come to court. My nephew gets up to say, hey, he's in police station, he's told by a lawyer called Sadler. And guess who this Sadler is? Plymouth City Council's lawyer. This motherfucker tells my little nephew, to be quiet. This is not his court or his business. He's not a lawyer and he's not sit down. Okay? While I'm in prison, they tell the court I haven't turned up.
This was the Monday after the raid, and they'd kept me in the cell for 29 hours, 30 hours.
They're not allowed to do that. It's 24 hours, isn't it?
Well, no, but they got the special permission to keep me longer than 24 hours.
But did your case get overturned when Manoch's case got overturned?
I haven't gone that far with it. I haven't.
You haven't been bothered.
It's not that I'm not bothered. It's you can't get legal aid now.
Just drained the life out of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Totally
Man,
understand.
it costs hundreds of thousands of pounds. All this it wasn't easy or cheap or stress-free. It stresses you. Tom was looking for something in the case. My case is on USB now. Is it USB?
Yeah, USB stick. Yeah, well done.
Because I'm not sure what it's called.
The whole thing's on a USB stick.
Okay, he was looking for something. So to find that, he had to look through. And he finds more undisclosed statements, which he told me the night before. He phoned me midnight. He said, you won't believe what I've found. This securities. This guy is given a real honest version.
Statement. It was it was spot on.
To say how Manoch was, and I don't even know him. I don't know him. Manoch was treating this place like his own front room.
He wouldn't have drugs.
He wouldn't have drugs. He would scream at people. And they said in the court that people would have been shit scared of him. How I was found guilty, I honestly don't know. Apart from the judge make them find us guilty. Otherwise, there was no evidence. Nothing. 1 pound here and there or there. No, go fuck yourself, you motherfuckers. It is. These are what upset. And guess what? In the court, this motherfucker Kettle disappeared. He wouldn't give evidence and he disappeared. So when it was asked, they said, as far as we know, he told Sergeant Kettle he would be there in the morning. But he didn't turn up. The same motherfucker who was in charge of the case lied to the court that I told, not bringing Kettle to say that, he told the court that I agreed to come on Sunday morning, where this dickhead called me 5 a.m. Look, they were shit scared of me, not because I'm a scary person, because they knew what they'd done to us. Every time I saw them in the court, that somebody had smashed my car, like pathetic question. What's your car? What do you drive? I said, do you find it fucking, what kind of question is this? Do you find it difficult to check with DVLA? It is like, one day one of them came to see the licensing, and we had plasterer working there. Yes, improving. There was some plaster, this much, on the, do you remember that? This fucking idiot, the head of licensee, proud. who now is that he saw this plaster there. He said, what is that? I said, what do you expect? It's all like I was having a joke. No, this operation is going on there. And he came and he fucking touched it. What an idiot. This much plaster, asshole, if he had this. Imagine how stupid as fuck they are. They forgot. Let me now say this as well. Imagine how pathetic they were. The council forgot to take my license away until few years after I was released, only because I told this fucking corrupt reporter. And the reporter, instead of keeping it to himself, he gone and, when I told him, why did you go and tell them? He said, because I had to make sure you are telling the truth, this Bible. I said, what did I told you is confidential. This motherfucker, anyway, I drove at night from Brighton, got to the licensing committee. They started talking. Of course, I wasn't even listening. I just got up, I said, listen, I haven't come here to ask you for license. Even if you give it to me, I won't have it. This is not why I'm here. I'm here to tell you, this guy, because the police was sitting next to me, I said, these lot, especially this guy, are corrupt. They are corrupt. They are called carrot crunchers in the prison.
Do you know what carrot cruncher is? It's like thick people.
Okay? I said, you see this? And the committee said, can you not, don't point at him and don't directly talk to him, you have to talk to us. I said, look, I told you I don't need anything from you. I've only come here, your children are living here. I'll be driving back to Brighton. It is you whose children should grow up with these corrupt people. I've come 400 miles to tell you all this. Bye-bye.
Oh.
And they kept saying, and he ran after me. It's not decided yet. Come here. I said, I don't want your fucking license. The same motherfucker reporters were there. Did you hear fuck all from them? Instead, he phoned me. He said, what you going to do now? I said, I'm going to turn it to fucking mosque. And guess what happened?
You got the license.
The big fucking problem started outside the palace. You know this league, EDF?
EDL, yeah.
They came down.
They came down all with our lots fighting in the street. They all. This is far more than you think. It is just one by one is coming to our mind. It is. Look.
It's a can of worms.
It is.
A can of worms.
When they look at it, the police, and I'm openly saying it, I'm not what I offered it to this fucking mosque for free. I offered it to them. I said, but there is one condition. You can never turn it to anything else. Otherwise, if you think you're going to take it from me and sell it on, here you are. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. I've paid very heavily for this. And I stand by it. I don't want this. I spent £60,000 for that cooperage. We went for license. Not me, somebody wanted to rent it, okay? He went for license. They said, it is populated area now. It's not like before, because it was licensed. You can't have a musical, okay? All right. I spent 60,000 on development. And you know how expensive it is. Architect, this 5 years it took, okay? Went for committee. Guess what they said? The town needs a fucking live venue.
It's true.
If you think this is funny, if this is not upsetting anyone, fuck this city and the fucking council, corrupt motherfuckers. What kind of... which way do you go?
On that note, we're going to have to wrap it up. We're going to have to end it here. Look, is there any way the viewers can reach out to you guys, support you on socials, or you have a website?
Yeah,
or anything?
there's some Facebook
Facebook
groups and stuff.
What's
like
it
that.
called? A Facebook group?
It's the Palace Theatre.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Palace Theatre.
It's the. I'll fire it to you.
All right, thank you
Yeah.
guys.
But you can
Yeah.
do something for this place if you can.
Yeah,
because
for the Backpackers Hotel.
we told them they would be looked after for. It's not because they
I
are
mean, it's a
full.
lovely hotel.
Yeah,
They
thank you
are-
so much as well for
They
coming
are
down.
full actually because it's summer. It's July. You know they have this. There is a big ferry going from here to rest of Europe. I swear to God, we used to get people coming from Spain, from Paris. This is how it was flourishing here, and they shot themselves. They don't even know how to improve it or make it better. Because nobody is willing to spend 25 million pounds to rebuild this. Okay, imagine it's fantastically heritage. Okay, who's gonna fucking spend 25 million pounds? It's a heritage. Good, well done. It's like a gold dildo. It's like you do need these things for what? It only has one purpose. Whether it's gold, whether it's diamond, it only serves one purpose. It is.
So please let us know in the comments what you thought about this video. And Manoch is a force of nature, obviously, and whether you think this is the Freemasons are behind this whole thing, because I think there's a huge role of the Freemasons in this whole thing. All right, guys, thank you very
so
much.
much.
I
Guys,
thought it's
guys.
already finished, no?
Cheers, cheers.
Oh my goodness.
No,
Thank you.
not finished, Manoch.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
Not
glad.
finished. Until we hug. Until we hug. Yeah, well done, man. You are on fire, absolutely.
It was a great
Yes.
experience.
This podcast is sponsored by Gadfly Press. We are proud to announce the publication of Britain's #1 art forger, Max Brandrett, The Life of a Cheeky Faker. And from the back cover blurb, Max the Forger is an artist and gentleman whose colourful lifestyle has spanned over 70 years. He has lived under the strict regime of Bernardo's children's homes, been an elephant handler in the circus, lived rough, busked his way from Brighton to Bombay, sold his fakes up and down the country, dined with dukes, socialised with celebrities, associated with gangsters, served time in prison, and donated tens of thousands to charity. And through it all, he has never stopped smiling and loving life and missing his mum. Quote from the book. Mr. Brandrett, I do not see you as a malicious criminal, sighed the judge. But why, oh why, do you continue to use your God-given talent in this way? I just can't help myself, Your Honour. It's like an addiction, I grinned. Available worldwide on Amazon, link in the description box below this video. Thank you for supporting our sponsor.